second sees East Geelong 6-8-44, leading Bel Post Hill 3-5-23. Dale, quick thought on it, mate. We'll dive in a bit deeper later.
Yeah, look, I sort of agree with Grubby. The important thing here is the midfield battle. I just think when we saw East Geelong last time, as we said inside, I just reckon their explosiveness from that middle of the ground, Lemper was really good, Crombie was really good, Andrew was really good. So those three need to be combated. And as Grubb said, the ruck contest is important. With Yates in there, Dill Whitney's in there, we're talking about Bo Collins, those three blokes, if they can't get the ball out of the centre and get it going forward side, they've actually got to null it. They've got to make sure the ball doesn't come out. If it does come out quick, it's a scrappy kick rather than being a clear run and carry ball. So very important, the middle section of the game. We saw that last week with the game out there last week when whoever won the centre contest seemed to dictate the play, and it'll be all important here this afternoon. Don't worry about that.
I do feel a tinge of sadness come up here, mate. Obviously not president anymore, not curator, and look at the mess they've made of my centre square, mate. I spent 6 years getting that thing looking pristine. Couldn't make a run on it, but...
I was just talking to Benny Muir out there. He's retired from football. He's given it away.
Well, he's just got back from overseas.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like he's been in a good paddock. He might have been with the same paddock as you and me, Spide, I reckon.
Well, there wouldn't be any food left if he was, mate. No, he's been overseas with the family. Went over for a family wedding.
Oh.
So Billy and Michelle stayed over there over for 3 months. So, yeah. Obviously, I reckon Billy and Michelle paid for it. Benny would have put his hand in his own pocket. That wouldn't have happened. All right, gents. Now, I've got to say quickly, I'm looking forward to the week after the bye. I reckon, geez, that's probably the best rounded GDFL football I've ever seen. But anyway, on to today. Obviously, there's 5 other games besides this one being played. No split round. We've had that.
Oh, look at the umpire in the middle. Grub, you know him. He looks like a waddling duck. Mark Nolan.
I was
Seriously,
to Mark earlier.
they give him this game. Wouldn't you send him to Belmont every week? Werribee?
A smaller ground would definitely help him out.
Looks like
he can hardly run.
He's got blisters or chafe or something like that. Anyway,
you only have to have a certain amount of the ground. He's got 3 of them out there.
I shouldn't laugh at him because he's travelling better than I am. So he's
moving
a lot better than I am.
You and I, it's like throwing stones, eh?
You remember my Nana Phyllis at 102 years old?
Yeah.
She was travelling better than you. How you going, mate?
Wow, Robbie, you just Anyway, obviously you're only 3 weeks younger than Dale, so you're throwing stones like unbelievable, mate. You turned 61 this week. I thought you might have grown a brain in between.
No, I still move like a gazelle when I have to.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, at least I can get in and out of the van properly.
Those days are gone for me.
Yeah, won me last fight by 100 metres. Anyway, boys, out at Osborne Park today, North Geelong taking on West. I did note in the sides yesterday that Charlie Farrell is out. So both their captains are out at North Geelong.
Well, as I said, he was obviously not right the day we saw him a couple of weeks back. So it's unfortunate because he continues to having these injuries, and it's for a kid that can play like he can, it's a shame to have him out of the side. West aren't travelling that well either, I must admit. As I said, they've been probably one of them, along with Winchelsea, for me, have been the 2 disappointing sides that for the season so far with their win-loss ratio and just the way they've gone about it. But look, West, if they're going to have any chance of getting themselves up and going and getting into the top 5, this is a game they cannot afford to lose. As I said, I'm not too sure what the record stands with North Geelong playing them out there, but West Geelong should win this game of football, and if they're serious about it, they should win by 10 goals.
Well, they dropped their game against Corio that no one thought they'd drop. So, and then Winch came out, which we'll touch on in a minute, Belmont, so their percentage went up, which, what Winch picked up last week is probably equivalent to a game.
Yep.
So the pressure is I need to win this. Grub?
Yeah, look, I think West will get better. I think they'll be really pushing it. Yes, their form hasn't been great till now, and that was just one out of the box. Corio must have played very, very well that day. But, they went out and beat Winch, and they beat them reasonably easy. They probably looked in control for most of the game. I said inside in the talk that we had that the premier full forward in the comp was Will Ford, and I'll stick by that. But I tell you what, West are missing the bloke who's equal. He's as good a full forward I've seen Blake die. And with that osteitis pubis, I don't know when he's coming back. If he's coming back. But, gee, I really hope he does come back.
Is he not back in? No. What's the other bloke they recruited from down the coast somewhere? There was another forward they recruited supposed to be coming into their side. I've got a feeling today. But again, I don't know. As I said, you can't read that in the Geelong Advertiser on a Friday anymore. So,
well, I just think once they get those blokes in and they get their full side.
Well, Blake Dye has been named.
He has been named.
Well,
that's a big thing because he is a fantastic player and he will kick goals for them, and they haven't been kicking enough goals. That'll solve that problem. The other bloke you're talking about, that'll solve that problem. I just think they'll get better and better as they go along. But I've had a look at it. When you look at, like, East, Thompson are going to be in there. I think Bel Post Hill and Bannockburn. And the way Inverleigh played last week, there's not much room left. So the way the games go, I think West is still going to be contending for it. I think they're a good side. I'm just not... I worry about North Geelong. I mean, I've never seen North Geelong play about 8 or 9 games and not win one in the history of the GDFNL. So there's something going on down there. They've got too many blokes who can play senior football, run around in the seconds, and there's something wrong with that. I don't know. Well, I probably do know, but it's not fair for me to mention it. But why don't they play seniors to make their senior side a better side? And that really worries me. You know, you've got to put your best side. You know, we've got one of the greatest umpires of all time umpiring here today, even though he can't run out of sight in the fog out there. Hey, Gozzy.
There he goes. Make me hands down. Don't worry about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Mark Nolan.
Boom tish.
There has been rumblings, and I shouldn't probably bring it up, but I don't know if Michael Boothie will coach for that much longer. He might coach the end of the year out, but I've got a funny feeling they've got someone in their sights for next year. Look, it's probably not fair to mention the name Peter Riccardi because it might not be right. But, you know, if you hear rumblings, you can say it. It might come true. I don't know. So I don't know how Michael's only in his first year, and I don't know how he's coaching. But the problem is, when you look at coaches, you look at their win-loss record, and he hasn't got a win yet. So, you know, they'll be looking forward to the Anarchy game because they reckon they can win that one. But I don't think they can beat West today, even though it's at
North Geelong.
At North Geelong.
What was his name?
Keith Barclay.
The Keith Barclay over there.
Not Phil Pot. You won't think about Dick now. Keith
Poor old
Barclay.
Dick, he'd be looking down saying, 0-9, what's 0-8?
I reckon
What's going
the
on?
last time they were that was, 1999, I reckon they went through and didn't win a game.
North?
Yep.
Gee, I don't remember it.
Yep. Well, I might have snuck one. I think Stewie Benyon was coaching.
Okay.
2000, one of around then. And I reckon, don't reckon they won a game, but that's a long, long time ago. All right, the next game we're looking at, very impressive last quarter and pretty much all day. Inverleigh last week, playing the Belmont Lions out at Inverleigh Oval.
Well, up until last week, I'd have said it, at Belmont, I'd have said it'd be, and it still might be a close game.
It's at Inverleigh.
It's at Inverleigh.
Yes.
Well, that wrecks that then because...
You didn't listen to me, did you?
No, I don't normally do.
No, I know.
You or Cameron, you're both the same. But to be quite honest, I thought Werribee could win at three-quarter time last week with that Bruce. And then they showed us how they could play football. And if they go out and play that football, I don't give Belmont a chance at all. But if they go back to before last week, I give Belmont a little bit of a chance. I wish it had been out at the Winter Resort because they're hard to beat there. They don't play well enough away for mine. But they've got a lot of young kids in that side. And it's not going to be Belmont's year this year. But the way they're going, if they can incorporate a few more young fellas and get a bit of experience for next, I think they're coming. So, but today, I'm going to have to go for Inverleigh. Too many guns. Donahue was fantastic last week. Casey Meehan hit form again. He hasn't been that great, but he was really good last week after injury. And I just think they got too much for Belmont.
Dale?
Yeah, look, I tend to agree. As I said, there was a couple of blokes there last week. I thought Casey Meehan's game last week was probably the best game I've seen him play for some time. We know he can play football, but he hasn't been producing it. And I also thought that Nathan Mays, while he's a good forward, he seemed to spend a bit more time further up the ground. And I reckon just his smarts further up the ground last week definitely helped them out in getting themselves up and going. So they've got some good players through their side. As I said, they were good with Donahue. As I said, I still like to see him on the back line. Just that link-up play.
Unless someone picks him up.
Hussey, yeah, well, that's true. Hussey was showed glimpses, but I believe he's now not playing again today, so I'm not too sure what he's...
Better research him. He's played at Werribee, VFA.
Yep.
He's played at a few different clubs. He's been around.
Yeah.
I thought he looked youngish. I wouldn't think he's a bloke in his 30s. It'd be like that. But he played. I think he played at the Falcons as well. So.
Yeah, I know he's been around playing football, but as I said, he just looked a smart mover. I think the important thing is for them is Wilson through the middle of the ground. He's still got to do a little bit more around the ground. He's all right in the ruck contest, but for me, he just doesn't do enough around the ground. I think if he can get himself involved, play the kick behind the play and just keep cutting things off, have the blokes coming past him for the handoff feed, they know how to play football out there. That last quarter, as I said, 9 goals I think they kicked last week, pretty much unanswered. So they're back and running now. They're working themselves back into a bit of form. Warren's back in their side, I think, today. I think they'll be too strong for Belmont out at home.
Is the difference for them this year? They've been the hunted for the last 4 or 5 years. They're not the hunted this year. They're the hunters. Will that make a difference to their finals charge?
Well, possibly. I suppose it's all about win and loss, though, isn't it, Spider? But
You've got to get there, I suppose.
they have been the team that everyone's been trying to chase down, and obviously with injuries early on, it hasn't been their best start to the season. And they've still got, as I said, we talked about Matty Tyke, and we've got Jared Love not playing. Filett's away now for 6 weeks. They've obviously lost Alford last week with a hamstring. I don't think he would come up. So they've got a number of players to come back in. And again, with that osteopubis, you just don't know when Matty might come back or if he comes back. It's something that sits on you for quite a while if you don't treat it right and get it right. So that mightn't be the case. But they still have the depth there, like we saw last week. I still think they've got the depth there to be able to play finals football. They're making their move towards it. And at home, as I said, I don't think they're going to lose a game of football.
Never moved far enough to get osteoitis pubis, Dale, so I wouldn't know.
There is one bloke that I thought he came as a big name and going to be a great player, and he didn't quite give him enough last year because of injury, was Circuit. I think they're starting to get a bit of use out of him around the packs and all that sort of stuff. And if he stays injury-free, he'll be a bonus for him as well.
Well, he's that hard in and under sort of bloke that takes the pressure off, Robbo and these sort of blokes who have been doing it for years, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I think you're right, Dale, that the game Nathan Mays played last week, the use of the ball, he's just smart. He doesn't waste possession and kick for himself.
He played late last year, and I thought, geez, I think Maisie's nearly finished. He was struggling a little bit. He still gets a few free kicks, like I should call him Milky. But last week's performance was a vintage Mays performance, and if he can continue that, if young Dalton Grundle's come back after he had injury problems early, he's getting a couple of games under his belt. So I think they can challenge, no doubt.
Yeah, so do I. All right, the Werribee Centrals with their new coach unavailable this week because he's got to commentate. Are taking your Corio up at Werribee.
Well, I won't be jumping in the car and going back there today. But look, I was just a bit frustrated with the way things were going. Yeah, look, Lindsay nearly got a smack in the gob. Look, I don't know. I didn't see him play the Thompson game, which was a pretty good game. I didn't see him play the East Geelong game, which they reckon was one of the best games down at Galvin Park for many a long day. And they actually beat East Geelong, inflicted their only defeat for the year. And I thought to myself, gee, I might not have given Werribee as much credit as I should have. But I just thought they weren't as good last week. The Werribee side that I saw last week is not quite good enough. And there was a couple out, I know, with Tyler Crennan and young Josh McDonald. I think they're both back in today.
Their first 2 minutes was as good as you've ever seen, Greg.
Well, the first 2 minutes was great.
Minute and a half was fantastic.
Yeah, but I just don't know. If Bel Post Hill and Thompson and Inverleigh and all that continue on their winning way, there might not be a spot for them there. They might be close, but there might not be a spot for there. But I tell you what, the way the Mighty Devils have been playing, look out. If it was at the Devils' playground, I'd just about tip Corio the way they've been playing. I'm going to go for Werribee at Werribee, but they're going to have to put a hold on Joel Bennett. There's no doubt about that. They're going to try. They'll have to tag him in some respect, even just to run with. Maybe not a hard tag, but just to run with. The young blokes up forward, Destin Burns and I forget that other bloke's name every single time. I forget his name, but they both. Yes, Jelinek. They're really good kids. The bloke that you gave the votes to, Hall, they're starting to get a real nucleus of a good side. They're probably still a few players short of the top sides, but if they play their best footy and Werribee don't, then it'll be a real close one. But I just think Werribee at the moment should win just.
They're the ones that have used the extra points well, haven't they?
Yes.
Well, they needed to.
They have used it well.
Yeah, they have. They've gone out and got some young blokes too, which will hopefully not. They haven't gone for the older blokes. They've gone for some younger blokes, which will hopefully get involved in the club and stay around for 2 or 3 years.
You've got 70-year-old Mark Stewart still running around the second, mate. So there's enough old blokes out there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's fine now. That's probably where he needs to be. For the development of their side.
Game 599 for Stewie today.
Oh, good luck to him, mate. Well, 600 games is massive.
Hell yeah. That's what I said in the call the other week. All these kids that they've brought in are all 19, 20, 21, 22, 21, 22. They're all, if they stay at the club, that's what they've got to do now. Player retention. And it's always been hard at Corio to do that. But I can tell you now, if they can do that and then add a couple, look out. They're not that far away.
Yeah, I think they will, Grub. As I said, they just seem to be a lot of kids obviously may have played football together a little bit as juniors and then through maybe some of their senior football, but they just seem to have got the right group in there. Again, I don't know. Look, Werribee were ordinary last week. Their middle two quarters were competitive. They were competitive. Yeah. But it's just their first quarter after the first 2 minutes, I think they let Inverleigh kick the next 8 goals, and in the last they kicked 9. So 17 goals pretty much unanswered, and they just couldn't find the ball. So I don't think that will happen at home there this afternoon. I think they will have the edge over Corio, so I reckon they'll get home, but I reckon there's only a couple of goal margin in it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I agree. Like Corio, but what they've bought into, they're not skinny. They're actually football. They're built like footballers too. So
yep.
I think we've said the 2 games we've called there, they fight hard to keep the ball in there instead of just rebounding out and, side scoring against them. So they're definitely on the up. All right, out to the Gun Club. The highest score for the season was kicked last week by Winch. I mean, we'd seen him a couple of weeks earlier, and they weren't overly impressive. And I think this one's right out of the box, kicking 40 goals. I know, as you say, it was Anarchy, but doesn't matter who you do it against, you've still got to do it. So Winch take on the ladder-leading Thompson. Rob?
Well,
Mitch is worried about this.
Yeah, I'm not quite so sure at this stage. Where's it at? It's out at Winchell City, you said,
yep.
so that's a bit of an advantage. But, yeah, look, if they think they're going to be one of the sides challenging for the 5, they did exactly what they had to do last week, kicking all those goals, because it could come down to percentage. So they really did what they had to do. I think their start to the season is very much like West. It hasn't been as good as what they would have thought, but I just think they're getting better as well. Tavar Sawney's been fantastic all year, but there's a couple of blokes, I think the parishes and all that, they're just starting to work out what GDFL football's all about. I don't know what happened to their ruckman, if he's still playing, but he was too big.
He did a hamstring, I reckon, the day we had him.
Yeah,
well, it was a bloody big hamstring, I tell you, because he's a big lump of a lad, but I'm not sure whether he was fit enough to play. So I don't know who's coming in there. They've got a reasonable forward line. Their back line's okay. I think they'll be better than in the second. Caleb Brown, they needed back.
Well, he's been named.
And O'Hanlon, I don't know if he's in or not.
Braden O'Hanlon's in.
Well, they're starting to get back to what they need to be, and I just think they will be a better side in the second half of the year than they were in the first. But whether or not that'll be good enough to get them into the finals, I'm not so sure. But I just think, who are they playing?
Thompson.
No, they won't beat Thompson.
Yeah, no, as I said, I tend to agree. I reckon Butcher be, well, again, injuries again can be costly and all that sort of stuff, but just the way as I said, against East Geelong, I thought they were very, very disappointing. And then even against against West Geelong the other week, I still don't think, for me, they played anywhere near like they should. I think they're still a fair way away from being one of our best top 5 sides in the competition. Yes, they are making some headway. And again, when you bring Brown and O'Halloran back into that side, that adds a little bit more class into it. So that will give them a hand. But I just think Thompson have been going along and doing it pretty nicely. And they just seem to be able to find ways for blokes just to push forward and change positions and get the best out of them. So Lynchy might be just weaving some of his magic there. And I think with them out there this afternoon, I think Thompson will win this game of footy and win it. I reckon it'll be comfortable, to be honest.
No Troop. He's out.
Did he get suspended?
Possibly. He did. He got suspended. So he got sent off last week, and obviously, the week before, and Bel Post Hill beat him by a point. So it just shows what a big loss he was for him. He kicked 4, I think, for the day, but he got suspended, so he's out. Mitch keeps saying every day, we've only got half a side in. Well, they must have 600 players because they run around looking pretty good. You're not 6-1 by chance, are you? With half, I mean, they have had the softer draw, but you're not 6-1 with half your side, are you?
They're very stiff to be that. They probably should be 7-0.
Well, yeah, they probably should be. Like you probably say the same about Bel Post Hill too, mate. The Werribee game kicking, 1 goal 37, and then but losing to Belmont at Belmont. They could be the same way, mate. But yeah, Thompson to me, I think if they only got half a side, they've got a few back. I think Freeman's back in now, and a couple others, so getting a couple of games under their belt. So big test from out there. Mitch is worried about this game. But I think
other than Troop, who have they got out of their side then? Who
I don't have any.
I'm not sure about Anderson. Did he do a hammy, Anderson? I think he did a hammy. He played anyway and got hurt again. I'm not quite sure if he's back in. He's a damn good player.
Well, he didn't play the day we saw him either, did he?
No.
Jarks is back in today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like you...
I'll tell you what, look, I know Troop's not playing, but when it gets... Say you come on to St Albans in the finals and you've got Troop at centre-half forward, flanked by Freeman on one side.
Anderson's in.
Okay, Freeman on one side and Jacques on the other. I tell you what, if you're a defender, you've got to be on your mettle because they could rip you to pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just looking at their side now, and there's not, or Jackson McLeod's back in as well. So, He's come in, and what's his name? Anderson's in as well. So I don't know who else they can put in there. Maybe their seconds should be playing the GFL if they're that good.
Yeah, as I said, I just think that their list. As I said, because you can't. I don't use that stuff, but can't pick up. Yeah, technology. Yeah, I just like the old stuff, black and white and paper, and see what we can get from that. But anyway,
can't get that in the Addy anymore.
No.
All right, out to Foot Trot Flats, lads. Anarchy obviously disappointed with the opening of their rooms last week. Taking on Banno.
Well, as I said before, we're talking here about Bannockburn. Where are they going to finish? 4th, 5th, maybe 3rd. We don't know, but they're going to be contestants. So they're in the same boat. They have to get percentage, and I reckon over the years Bannockburn are a side that get their 10, 15 goals in front and stop. They can't afford to do that today. They've got to play 4 quarters out and try and do what Winch did and kick 40 goals and keep Anarchy to not much. And they're a chance to do that. And look, every week we say Anarchy, we want them to play better, and they need this and they need that. So I'm not going to drive that to death. But it's all probably much about Bannockburn and how much they're going to win by. And I just think they'll win by a lot. I hate saying that, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I can't add too much more to that spot. As I said, both sides. As I said, I don't think Bannockburn were going out there resting players, because as I said, Robbie said the percentage at the end of the year was critical. And a win today, not by 10 goals, but by 15 to 20 goals is probably something that they'd be looking at.
Well, more maybe.
Yeah, well, it could be, Grubby, as I said, but it's about doing the things that you do and doing well, and obviously the scoreboard then will take care of itself. But at this stage, they just need to be playing some good footy and getting the system going and making sure, we might see Kieran Fulton kick 20 goals today if he's at full forward all day. You just don't know if they get enough of the ball down there. We expect that they would. And again, if they leave him there all day, he could have a real day out. So, look, I think it'll be a comfortable victory out there, and I'm not going to add much more to it.
Look, I've got the ladder up at the moment. You've got Thompson on 24, East Geelong 24. The difference in percentage is 45. Thompson 218, East to 173.
Well, that's pretty big.
Then Bel Post Hill on 20 with 170. Bannockburn are equal with Bel Post Hill with 67% difference. Banno are on 103, Bel Post still 170.
Yeah.
So that's what, in real terms, that's 4 games in percentage-wise.
Yeah, I don't know how it all equates.
I just make stuff up, mate, and no, there's no rebuttal from anybody, so it's great.
Yeah, I'm going to say something I don't want to say here.
Yeah.
But those sides, like say East, have they played Anarchy? Because if you kick 40 goals to 1, all of a sudden that percentage comes right back to the field.
Well, that's what I'm about to get at, because Inverleigh on 16, they've got a percentage of 100. They got the second best percentage in the league of 181.
Because of that.
Yep. So they're a game out. Winch.
And remember that day, I think Anarchy were in front at quarter time and might have been halfway through the second quarter until Inverleigh got rolling.
And then Winch have gone from, I think Winch were 80-odd% last week. They've gone to 137.
Yeah.
On 16 points as well. Werribee 16 points with 100. Grub.
Yeah.
So then you got the Giants we were talking about. Giants are 2 games out at this stage.
Yep.
With a percentage of 125. So Corio are 2 games out as well. But their percentages are 84, because they're still going to, with a young side and an up and coming, they're still going to get touched up occasionally.
Yeah, exactly.
But, and then you got Belmont on 71, North Geelong 54, and Anarchy on 17. So, percentage is going to play a big thing. And you see, you've got to take advantage of these sort of days for your Banno. The weather's not conducive, but that shouldn't matter. If you're a superior side, you should still be able to put a score on the board or restrict their scoring, so you can make that gap up. Because if Bel Post still win today and Bannockburn win today, for Banno to get above them, they've got to win by. You win by 40 goals, they probably still wouldn't get past them. It's a long way back.
There is one question that I want to ask Smithy on that. Mm-hmm. Are you actually listening to this drivel?
I was actually looking at something on my phone, and you threw me there.
I just love coming in here every week. Some flog from Werribee comes down and thinks he knows everything, and God, I'm going to punch him in the nose. You want to go, Coach Werribee, mate?
Get in line behind Bucky and Lindsay.
Yeah. Reece Prismal's sitting at the front of your place right now. All right, we might go to a quick break, and we'll come back and have a in-depth look at our match of the round. You right there, Steelo?
The Committee for Geelong provides strategic leadership to leverage the economic and social prosperity of the region. By encouraging innovation and debate, we focus on ways to overcome challenges and provide a united
GDFL football action. The match of the day. Only on 94.7 The Pulse.
All right, welcome back to the match of the day, GDFL. Myers Reserve, very still afternoon and a little bit of cloud around, but hopefully the rain's done for the day. On to the match around, lads. Bel Post Hill versus... I reckon did this game last year, Dale.
Before you do...
Okay, mate.
Before you
got a special announcement?
No. Don't you know what a holding the ball decision is, O'Leary?
Jeez, he was a good footballer.
Mick O'Leary was a star. Don't worry about that.
Went to Richmond too.
Did he?
Yeah,
he was a lovely player.
I played a lot of rep footy with him, mate. Yeah. As I said about Bucky, mate, you used to get stargazing and watching these blokes run around.
You do.
I'm very, as Dale will tell you when he coached me, I'm very easily distracted. So there's no issues. All right, lads, before we go, we're obviously going to talk about today's game, but we've just been made aware. Grubby, would you like to, it's been your mate, you love the umpires.
Well, first I'll announce the umpires for today. We have Caleb McGrath, who's been a very, very good umpire. Aaron Ritchies, we've had a few times. He does a pretty good job, Aaron. But they're a little bit overshadowed today because Mark Nolan is officiating today in his 900th game. The goal umpire will be terrible, Schilder, because he got no idea. and he's going to hit me with the flags.
I would, actually.
Any tick of the clock. But yeah, he's done for the day. Thank God for that. But, Mark Nolan, 900 games, grand finals. He's done it all in 900 games. Again, the question's got to be asked.
Scotty Cowie.
How many good ones? But Mark Nolan, 900 games. Congratulations, mate. Have a great day. And we'll get a good going from the umpires.
He's not moving much more freely, is he? There we go. He's raised the ball in his 900th. What a fantastic.
You know what he looks like? He looks like he needs Vaseline on his knackers.
Maybe he put deep heat on instead.
That's what he's done. He's put the deep heat on instead.
Put the deep heat. Yeah. All right, Grubby, give us your summation of the game, mate. We've got 10 minutes to lead in. So give us your summation, buddy.
Well,
that's enough. Thanks, over to you, Dale.
Well, I've already done it twice. How many more times do you want to do it?
I want you to actually give us a decent one, not your crap you dribbled on the side at the halftime entertainment, at the past players' luncheon.
Well, I thought I was pretty spot on with that, and all the people clapped me and everything, and they thought I was.
We're very polite at Bel Post still, mate.
Yeah, they didn't probably give Smitty the reception that he would like, but. Look,
is Dale going to go to the Bannockburn past plays in 2 weeks?
Oh, well, there's a few. And then the Bell Park one. And
he's got his Geelong 3 premierships in a row. Then he's got the Inverleigh past players day. And then it'll be Smarsdale and
Queenscliff.
Illabrook, Queenscliff.
Well, I got the Central past players coming up. And
Garang.
Old Collusions. Sunshine don't have them anymore.
More clubs than Tiger Woods.
Probably have.
I reckon it could be a make or break. I'm still not convinced. I reckon Thompson 1 and 2. And at times I go Bel Post top 3. And then at times I go, I'm not quite sure. I know they've had players out. I know they're managing Dylan Whitney. Is he playing today,
Dylan Whitney's in, yes.
Yeah, he's in.
Well, that's good to sell.
So is Adrian Fantella is in today.
He's been a great player for the club too. But if they can beat East Geelong, even though it's up here, if they can beat East Geelong today, I reckon I'll probably settle with top 3. But if they can't, they're back in the mix for 3, 4, 5. And I don't know, they're a very hard side. I thought they played poor football against Werribee. They probably could have won at the finish, but the score was a little bit short. But I thought they could have won that. And I just don't know. They beat Thompson.
Yes, by a point.
So they've had some good wins.
Well, they beat Bannockburn when they were unbeaten too.
Yeah, they're still
pretty easy too.
They're still a bit of a mystery to me. Their best football, definitely top 3. But if they can't continue that for the whole season, then they'll be battling. I'm going to still tip them for top 3. But this side that's running out here, the time I saw them, were absolutely fantastic. I honestly, after watching last week's game, I can't fathom how Werribee beat them. I really can't. So maybe they'll come out today and play. But they even in defeat, they play great football. So I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go for the away side because of the consistency they've got. But if this mob get a run in the mighty Panthers, look out. If they get that run on, they're hard to stop.
Grubby, I'll just throw one to you. You've made a comment a couple of times that East Geelong overachieved last year, and you said this year would be their year.
Yeah, I think they overachieved in the home and away, but then a lot of people have said they underachieved in the finals and they'd be very disappointed, and they probably are. I myself wasn't that disappointed. I think if you had said to them at the start of the year, third, you get third, you know, you probably take that because I don't know whether they thought they could get that high. But the way they played that season, yeah, they got a right to be disappointed in the end. But I just think some of their younger players, and I know sides have got good young players, but this mob's got some really good kids. The Mulvales and I think young Jockey Menzies, young bloke's back in today.
Huey's out there, yep.
After a few in the twos, getting his fitness back. And
He got 7 last week, I think, in the twos, I thought.
He did. Benny Crombie. Their kids are going to be elite footballers in the GDFL. And it's only a matter of time when they take that big step. And I think this season, I think they can. I really think they can. So, yeah, I proclaimed it. I thought last year, fair enough, but this year's their year. And at the moment, I still think it is. We'll see in a couple of weeks when they play Thompson. That'll be a big one. But, yeah, no, look, I just like the way they go about their footy.
Dale, and don't just say I can't add much more because I'd like to hear add something.
He started about 5 times.
He's dead set. We might call him splinters, mate. He sits on the fence that much.
Yeah.
It's going to be a game, as I said, the centre contest is where it's going to be won and lost. We spoke about it inside, and as I said, you've got Billy Andrew, Ben Crombie, and Ryan Limper were the 3 blokes that really stood out. And McIntyre's probably your workhorse. He's probably not your quicker player. He's just the bloke, ball user that gets the handball out and would feed these players on the outside. Now, this is where the game's going to be won or lost, is in this centre bounce. As I said, if Bel Post Hill can actually hold those blokes up, not give them the free run out of there, and then control a little bit of ball themselves and get into their forward line, I think they can do all right. For whatever reason being, every time these two sides play that I've seen, doesn't matter where they've done or what the ins and outs have been, Bel Post Hill have always been able to manufacture it themselves to get over the top. I can't see that changing today up here with the importance of, obviously, the past players' day, but obviously the importance of the side itself just to actually win the game of football and push themselves to where they want to be and finish in that top 3. East Geelong, as I said, they have been probably the best side performance-wise over the course of the year. I think we spoke about the game against Winch, and we don't really... I haven't rated Winch at this stage just yet. So, again, hard to gather it. But they had 29 scoring shots to 11 that day. They obviously only kicked 14 to 15 goals. But the margin could have been far greater had they have done that. So, I think they're playing as good as football as I've seen any side play for the year. And that includes Thompson as well. They were only time I've seen them was against North Geelong. And while they were good, they weren't as impressive as what I saw at East Geelong. So, the run from East Geelong will have to be negated by Bel Post Hill. If they can't do that, then it could get a little bit ugly for them. But I just think the way Bel Post Hill play against this side, and I don't know what they do differently. They seem to match up and play well. I reckon they can win the game.
I reckon the corresponding game last year we did it, mate, and I think East Geelong should have won that game.
Was that here?
Yeah, and there was a couple of shots from 10 or 15 metres out that they sprayed everywhere, and it just let Bel Post still stay in front. I think East Geelong dominated the game. They just couldn't put it away, and that's my issue with footy in general, is that
McLennan didn't finish the game that day, did he?
No, he didn't.
No.
If you have 40 entries into your forward 50, and you're kicking, as I said, 4 goals, 14, you're not going to win many games.
No.
If you're going to forward, like yourself, full forward, I was a full forward, the work rate, you've got to finish the work off, and that's not what they're doing. That concerns me with Bel Post still. Perhaps they've gone, and they've got a lot of small forwards now who are, might be snapping at goals and things like that might be happening. I haven't seen them play this year, so I'm only speculating, but that could be a part of the problem. You got, as Grubby says, probably the premier full forward in the league there. Well, and he's a beautiful kick. It just concerns me that their points that they've kicked over the year. I reckon they've probably kicked 20 more points this year than goals, which is a bit of a worry. And if you do that against a side like East Geelong, you're going to get punished.
Yeah, as I said, I think Timmy Barton, as I said, I'm not too sure how they'll structure up. I'm hoping Bowie McNamara starts back and plays defence, because I think he's best served for this club back there, and especially on today, because I think they need Tim Barton to be that critical player at centre forward. As I said, we've got forward at full forward. You have the Costellos on the outside, and then there's some other blokes pushing forward, kicking goals. But
Kerrins, these sort of blokes.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. Those blokes have got to get involved. Where's the bloke that won the medal a couple of years ago? What's his name?
James.
Yeah, what's he doing?
I don't know.
He wasn't running around the twos either again today.
I haven't inside him here today.
So maybe he's just part and parcel it up and giving it away for you. I don't know. But
he's played a couple of seconds games.
Yeah, but again, as I said, you would think by this stage, at what are we, week 8, week 9,
that you need him in.
you'd need him back in and starting to play some football. As I said, if they want to look after Jill Whitney, he's a perfect bloke to come in and replace him.
Yep.
You put a worker in there, and then you've got another bloke that actually is a bit of a worker and a great kicker for football. As I said, I've never seen a bloke run so quick and be able to kick a ball another 50 or 60 metres. So
It reminds me of Davey Holzfine.
Yeah, well,
he was the same.
Yeah,
and
he
great
just
below his
seems
knees.
to go really well. So again, I just think he's an important cog. If Bel Post Hill, when they get to St Albans at the end of the year, if they can't get Matty Jones back in this side somehow, then I think that might be a bit of well, not a bad thing for them, but it's not going to help them go all the way, I wouldn't think so.
Well, there's another bloke there that running around the seconds last time we were here. I don't know if he plays today. It was Jaden Ettridge.
Yep, again, didn't see him out there again this afternoon.
No, neither did I. So they were both obviously having fitness problems, getting themselves fit and injuries and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll just see what happens, but I think they do need those blokes in, as you said, if they're going to go all the way in September.
We better play the intro, mate, because they're just about to start the game. And
First
Mark
quarter,
Nolan,
brought to you by Fairhaven Home.
Mark Nolan in his 900th game puts the ball in the air. Ball is kicked off the ground by Whitney, goes back into their forward line. So they run towards the half forward line. Harmer leads in the race for the ball, overruns it, went back and collected it, picked the ball up. He was tackled. Umpire comes across and will hold things up. Again, in between centre wing and half forward, Bel Post Hill, as I said, their slide attacking end. Adrian Fantella back in the side for the Bel Post Hill side this afternoon. Ball from that contest. There's a free kick being given. Umpire from beyond said there's going to be a free kick to Bel Post Hill. To Whitney it's going. Well, he took the free kick and the ball goes into their forward line and it's been marked there by Mulville and he goes short. We'll find Crombie still at the centre half back position. And Crombie with the ball. He's looking to deliver the ball. He's going to come clubber inside, so that's good. Goes out looking for Rezard. Behind McNamara, brings ball to ground. Picked up there by Andrew. Goes back into the middle. Kick was okay. Was fortunate into the hands of Lemper. He runs and carries. Looks sideways. Heard Beardsall. Went towards him. Probably could have marked it, I would have thought, but never got there in the end. It's picked up there. McIntyre. Ball comes out. Handball goes back into the hands there. Who's that?
Nick
Flacovenko. Got the hair colour changed there. And the ball has been marked on the far side of the ground. So East Geelong will turn things around fairly quickly here. Players inside. Billy Andrew was looking for the ball to come to him, but he's not going to go that way. Long kick into the forward line. Menzies had one hand on it. Couldn't hold the second one. Taps the ball through the contest. And again now, players at ground level. It actually comes from the contest. Player is held up, and we will have a ball up inside forward 50. This time for East Geelong. So, again, Ruckman down there. Lovett pushes down. He's doing the ruck work for Bel Post Hill. I think he was up against Ezard in that contest, but it's going to be called back to the umpire. So the two blokes will go at it again. Ezard, as we said, doing the ruck work. McLennan just positioned himself further down the field. Bren Lovett on hands and knees. Tries to work the ball out, and again, it's not going to come out of there. Tackle there from Staggard. Umpire says, give it back to me. We'll have a third go at it. Ball again from that contest. Yates takes it. He is tackled. And again, umpire said fourth. No, it's not. It's going to be a free kick taken high. So Jack Yates to his feet now. His possession of the ball. Goes short with a dangerous kick. Didn't come off. Was intercepted there. Ball comes out of the contest. Back into the hands of McIntyre. Went over the top. Bel Post Hill picked the ball up. They sweep through there, and Andrews gives the handball outside. Put his team under pressure. Got the ball back. Handball went further afield. Barton just puts boot to ball. Goes as high as it did long, and it's not going to be marked down there. Harmer was the bloke that went after it. It's going to be now taken from the half forward line. A chip into the forward line. That is good. Mark has been taken out there. I reckon that is Costello. And he is going to kick. He's a left footer, I think, isn't he?
Find out shortly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Adam Costello.
It is.
On the far side.
It is Adam.
I think it's his left footer from memory. I might be wrong, but I think I might be wrong now. Just can't see how he's holding that ball. It could be a right foot. He might just use equally as good on both sides of the feet. So Costello now, no, he's coming in now. Definitely a left footer. Kicks that goal. It is going to be offline. The first score of the afternoon is to Bel Post Hill. They are one behind. They lead East Geelong, who are yet to score. We've gone 3.5. Fairhaven Home's first quarter scoreboard.
I'm back from a break. All right, East to bring the ball back in.
Don't doubt yourself. He was a left footer. You said you got to have the confidence in yourself, though.
He was right. Right, ball coming in towards the clubroom side here at Myers Reserve. Nice little kick. Up hand, early one hand. Mark was taken by Lee. Looking for options now down the ground. Plenty of movement. So he's going to come deep down here to one-on-one contest. It's probably gone a bit long. Now it's heading towards Ren Lovett, gets back, punches the ball free. Quick handball out of the back there. Misses Kerins. Does well to recover. In over the ball is Andrews. Umpire says that'll be mine, thanks. Right true centre wing, right in front of the commentary box, or the change rooms for those listening at home. Ren McLennan go at it. Lovett wins the ball. There's been a free kick, I think, paid off here. So free kick to East Geelong. They've paid advantage. Kick has gone long by Lemper, and will trickle through in front of the Nick Flekavenko for the first score for the East Geelong side. So scores level in the Fairhaven Homes, 1 point apiece. Ball brought back in. Nice little kick to Bo Collins. Takes the ball in his chest. He has options up the ground now. Goes long, looking for Jordan Flekavenko. Gets in first in front. Doesn't quite take the mark. Great kick picked up there by Harmer, who then goes long to the other Costello, who looks forward, who just taps the ball in front of Adam Costello. Adam Costello picks the ball up, handball to Tim Barton. A bit of a banana there into the hot spot. Ball's hit the ground. Picking the ball up now is, I couldn't say that was, but it's fallen out to Costello again on hands and knees. East Geelong with a quick handball, but doesn't work. Goes over Nick Costello, who's looking to bring rain on a clear day, but does nothing but kick it out of bounds on the full. East Geelong to take the resultant free kick right next to the goalpost.
Cords Mars not playing either by the looks of things.
I didn't see him name, mate. I was looking for him. So
out injured.
He walked over here carrying the board before, didn't he?
Yeah, out injured. I spoke to Kevin O'Leary earlier.
Well, Dale said, John Mitchell rang me and said there's 18 out of East first and second side. So anyway, East Geelong.
That means 17 out of the seconds.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. Anyway, East Geelong leaving kick outside forward 50. Hands and knees again, fight. Another quick kick out of the pack going forward for East Geelong. Beautifully trapped there. Is that Helmore out there? Pick the ball up. No, Bel Post Hill in the turnover. Look for Dill Whitney in the middle. Whitney's got time, swings onto that trusty left foot, goes long looking for Will Ford, but chopping the ball out and winning the free kick. Absolutely here. What's the umpire paid?
I think he's just a late
just late. So that was a great effort by McDonald, who backed into the pack beautifully. So he transfers play out on the far side here at Myers Reserve. Another short kick down the middle. Is Lovett not going to get there to cut it off? Running onto it now. Quick handball up. Finds Caleb Basley, short in the middle, but it's chopped off beautifully by Zach Smith. Smith turns around quickly for East Geelong, drives them long into the forward 50, looking for Ezard out in front with Flakavenko. Nice little battle going on there. Off the ground, the umpires picked the free kick to Ezard, who will looks like have a shot for goal from about 35 out.
Watson Silsey not in that list either.
No. So, a couple of big outs there for East Geelong.
It's strange that because they haven't got him in, and yet Zach Smith's playing up almost to the centre of the ground. You'd have thought they'd have kept him deep.
Well, maybe give some more time up the middle, mate. Give him a bit of time through the centre. Anyway, the ball is with Caleb Ezard now. You'll be kicking from about 35 out on a slight angle to the southern end of the ground. Drops the ball down now. Goal umpire is pushed across, but they all like it, and there it is. First goal of the afternoon goes to Caleb Ezard for East Geelong, the Fairhaven Homes. Scoreboard sees East Geelong 1-1 leading Bel Post Hill, 1 behind.
It's pretty entertaining. Up the ground, down the ground. It's good to watch. It's probably the big thing there was Cubby. He stuck the ball out. He thought he could go through the corridor and give Bel Post Hill a bit of a avenue to goal, but Zach Smith jumped in beautifully, intercepted it, and that was probably the point in that little bit of football that changed where the ball was going to end up, and a free kick and a goal.
McLennan and Lovett got it again. Lovett gets the ball down, coming from the centre. It's going to be picked up, and Andrew's going to come from the middle. Good smother there on centre wing. Ball. Lovett working hard. Actually, it wasn't. It was Jack Yates put his head over the contest. Should have known that. And Yates with the ball now from that middle position. He's looking at his options further down the field. He goes in direction. I thought he was going towards Timmy Barton, but he goes towards Mars. Picked up there. Costello comes out. Got the handball over the back. Back to Collins. His short kick is a little bit too short, and the mark has been taken out there. So East Geelong now will go back the other way. Short kick back into the middle. Andrews in position. Still inside defensive 50. He's going to come back club room side now. McLennan will be the target. Shorter. Mark is up. Not taken. Yes, it will be. He had a fair crack at it.
I think so.
I think
it was Menzies, yep.
Come out. The ball comes out to Vasika. He's tackled, brought to ground. No prior opportunity there. And the ball will be thrown up by the umpire. So right on the forward 50 there. Bel Post Hill back in attack this time at the moment. Ball goes from the ruck contest, picked up by McIntyre. Little short kick. Lead up player Bearsall didn't take the mark. Ball out the back, picked up out there by Andrews. Handball's back inside, missed basically as his target. He's going to go, well, he thought he was going to go back and pick it up, but Smith did so. Handballed over the top. Andrews is back there also.
That's accidental
Yeah.
hit high.
It is.
Copped a little one.
Yeah, even Yatesy just give him a push and a bit of a grin. He didn't mean to do that.
So it's going to be a free kick going to Josh Andrew. As I said, just the other side of the centre wicket. So Andrew now has a player short, goes in that direction. Costello's the first target. He went back and collected it, went back to Andrew, got the handball out the back to Basely. Basely's got McNamara sideways. Just a little smart kick and fan for Vasika, and he will take the mark on true centre wing. So Vasika now, little chip outside. McNamara into space. So Bel Post Hill, player back in the middle. Quinn, he was ignored that and he decides to go long into the forward line. Collins is going to be the target. Ball gets out the back. Again running onto it. Picked up out there. I think that was Jones who had possession of it. He was tackled, brought to the ground. And umpire Nolan steams in and gets possession of the ball.
I reckon you're getting it wrong. I reckon the Bel Post Hill bloke is Andrews.
It is.
And the East Geelong bloke's Andrew.
Andrew, right, okay.
Right.
Well, they're both Andrews.
Yeah.
Ball from the contrast.
Well, you said what has East Geelong got two of them, you idiot?
No, well, there's two of them out there. They're both Andrews.
No, Mark Nolan getting very involved. He's had more touches than anyone else so far in his game, 900. Throws the ball in the air.
Oh.
Timmy Barton just shoved his opponent out of the way. Handballs the ball about 20 metres. Adam Costello kicks the ball off the ground, but it trickles just out of bounds next to the behind post, deep in Bel Post Hill's attacking 50.
I know I say this every week, but are you allowed to push blokes like that now?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, you can. Clearly, the umpire didn't. Mark Nolan's umpired 900 games, mate. If he didn't pay it, it's free to do it.
He ragdolled him, though.
He did. Ball bet, he's thrown back in. McLennan goes up on his own, unopposed, taps it down. Wrapped up immediately in a tackle. I think the ball has nearly come out, but I think Jack Yates might have been very clever there and flicked the ball back in. So we've got another bounce ball up about 20 metres out from the Bel Post Hill goal. We've gone 11 minutes in this first quarter, Fairhaven Homes. Ball's gone up, comes back down on the ground, fighting for the ball. Ball finally falls free. Umpire's going to pay too high here. East Geelong will get the resultant free kick and have a chance to clear their defensive zone. I can't quite see who's going to be the
Post Hill.
Oh, Bel Post. No,
I was going to say, I reckon it was in the back to Bel Post Hill.
I thought he paid it the other. The umpire went the other way.
He did put his hand
That's
that way.
what I thought. Don't confuse me. And Zane Jones, who's done some good things early, has a chance to kick Bel Post Hill's first goal. Said we've gone just about tick over 12 minutes now. Beautiful view from the commentary box here. If only we get this lid lifted up a bit higher, Dale, I might have neck problems in the morning.
I'll go along with that decision. I'm pretty sure the Bel Post Hill boy got pushed in the back
As I just
without
said,
any doubt.
he just put the arm the other way, mate. So that's what confused me. So Jones comes in now. It's a fair old shank off the right foot, off the instep there, and it's gone through for a minor score. So that takes Bel Post Hill to 2 behinds, trailing East Geelong 117.
I told you, perfect conditions. They need wind or rain.
Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
That's right, and they kicked 14 behinds. Yeah. And about 5 goals, I think.
A gale and they kicked 8 straight.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, East Geelong now to bring the ball back in. Players free. Nice little chip across here. It lands in the arms of Lemper, who's been very prominent early. Lemper chips the ball across here to Bartel. Bartel probably sitting on the 50-metre, defensive 50-metre line. Looking down the line, looking across the ground, looking for options. Umpire calls play on. Nice little kick, held that well. Mulvihill takes the ball. Still defensive side of the East Geelong. Another nice little kick. Oh, it's chopped off, but I think the umpire's going to pay chopping the arms. So the free kick to Tim Lee. Still hasn't progressed too far. They're only just outside the defensive 50. He's chipped the ball back across, so trying to break the play open a bit here. McDonald again goes short. Now here we go, more progressive play, looking long out to the far side of the ground, 1-on-1 contest. Ball brought to ground. Beau Collins the first to pick it up. Handball's back to Basely, immediately under pressure. Quick little kick out, looking for Staggard. Filled by East Geelong, but Staggard ends up winning the ball. Mongrel punt down to the forward 50. Lands in the arms of Mars, who then turns to his left, kicks it long. Looking 2-on-1 contest. Braden Staggard there for Bel Post Hill. Was happy to see it over the line, and that's where it's eventuated. So the boundary up, I will throw it in on the far side of the ground here at Moores Reserve. And we said East Geelong 1-1-7 leading Bel Post Hill. who I've got them as 2 behinds, not 3, but the scoreboard appears to be wrong. 14 minutes ticking over this for Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard. Ball comes in, Lovett versus McLennan. McLennan uses his body and drops the ball at his feet. Picked up there, but Bo Collins emerges from the pack. Quick little handball to Yates. Yates goes long into the forward 50. We've got nice little collision. Will Ford overruns it. Picked up by Harmer.
Forward.
Goes back to Ford on the left foot, and he has blasted it through for another minor score to Bel Post Hill. I might do a grubby and disappear shortly and do some goal coach kicking.
I didn't even think they went through from behind then.
I thought I was out of bounds to the fall myself. We can't see that bar. Is that Mulhill bringing the ball back in, is it? No, it's
Mars.
not. It's Mars bringing it in. Sorry, kicking along. Shouldn't have had the long sleeves. Ball out on the outer half-forward flank for Bel Post Hill. Picked up, handball back to Barton, who fires a nice long handball. It's his second nice long handball today, but no one in particular. Picked up by East Geelong. Looking through the middle, nice little kick, bounces in front of Menzies there, who couldn't quite pick it up. Ball, McNamara handballs across to Harmer, but that could be a free kick, not paid, to Dill Whitney. East Geelong now working it out. So Sam King on the left finds a teammate, picked up there, goes back to King, to Mitch's favourite player, who went another handball to McLennan. McLennan looking long here. Got no one home but Bo McNamara. So Bo McNamara takes the relieving mark, just on the defensive side of centre wing. Chips the ball back to Staggard, who now is going to come across the middle to Quinn. Quinn can come in further to Flacamenko, but he ignores that, plays on, runs through the middle, goes short. That's a dangerous kick over the head of Dylan Whitney to a nest of eagles. Picked up there, handball comes out towards Menzies, but chopped off by Staggard, who delivers the ball beautifully to his teammate right on centre wing.
It could be Skrunsky.
Yes, it could be Skrunsky. It could be. And into the ball anyway. Into the hands of Vasurka. Vasurka goes beautifully short to Timmy Barton. Just marks probably 60 out. Ford on the move now, looking into the space. That's a great kick by Barton. Just falls over the head. Falls the back to Costello, who swings around on the right foot. And has kicked the first one for Bel Post Hill for the afternoon. Nick Costello gets his first. Gets Bel Post Hill's first. They move to 139. Leading East Geelong 117. 16 minutes gone. First quarter, Fairhaven Homes scoreboard.
Well, I know it's early to say it, but they really needed that because the way they're playing, they're probably just playing a bit better than East, but they haven't been able to kick the goals. They've had a couple of shots for goal that should have gone right through the middle, and they didn't, and they really needed a goal to get the confidence going. But when you're looking for a bloke to kick a goal like that, Nick Costello's the bloke to look for. And I just think today he might have to kick 3 or 4 to keep him in the game. Because Will Ford up there, not great conditions for a full forward, but we'll see what happens.
Ball back in the middle, up and go at it. This time I think Lovett got the ball down again. Coming in was Andrew off the square, got the handball outside, went towards centre wing, picked up out there by King now. A little bit of time and space, looks forward, goes long towards Dowsett. But a little bit of hand.
Yeah, that's a hand in the back.
Again, it was, and the ball not in range either. So, but Dowsett quick to move the ball into their forward line. Ball gets out the back, good contest there. Bel Post Hill work the ball back to Baseley. Baseley's got a runner in. I'm not too sure he didn't use him there, but the ball goes back. It goes to Whitney. So Whitney now with the ball. And Whitney now is looking to go long. Costello, good strong lead, good kick. And the mark has been taken this time by Adam Costello. So Adam Costello now looking back inside. Little right foot kick to pass in, I think it was, wasn't it?
No, it was left.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, he's confused me there. Back into the hands of Whitney. Whitney goes long. Baseley's pushed himself forward. Contest required down there at Bel Post Hill. Ball picked up there by Jones. He looks to get the ball out. Unfortunately, the tackle was good. Ball not coming out, and the tackler there was McDonald. So they've been able to hold the ball up. Just forward of attacking side of centre wing for Bel Post Hill. Ruckman go at it again. Barton, the only Ruckman up there.
Well, he's been pinned this time.
Well, just while we've got a chance, you see what Billy Andrew did then in the marking contest? He kept him out with his body, no hands.
So free kick's gone to McClellan. And he's going to deliver the ball back towards their half-forward line. Izzard's the first one there, picked up by McNamara through the contest into the hands of Whitney. Over the top to Bryans. Bryans looks forward. Good kick towards Costello. His mark was not taken. Picked the ball up. They picked up, I think that was Jones again. Whitney's also on hands and knees. Forced the ball forward. Bryans working hard again. He was tackled without the ball. High umpire said was high. And free kick will go to that player in Bryans. So ball again just outside their forward 50. Decides to go long and quickly into their forward line.
Yes,
and
he's paid it.
It's been paid.
I tell you what, that was a stupid thing to do. He bumped him. He never bothered even hurting him. He just give away a down-the-ground free kick, which I think should end up in a goal.
Well, Will Ford got the ball. And we know that he's been kicking pretty well. I'm not going to say it's put your glasses down because they'll just moz the crap out of him.
No, we don't do that anymore.
A quick round the grounds, lads. Geelong West Giants 27, North Geelong 6, Inverleigh 25, Belmont 12, Corio 17, Werribee 7, Thompson 22, Winch 6, Bannockburn 19, Anarchy 7.
Oh, this is good. Ball now with Will Ford. About 35 out directly in front. Runs at goal. Kick looks good. Umpire doesn't move all that much. It is their second of the afternoon. And they move to 2-3. They lead East Geelong on 1-1. We have just ticked towards 20 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
Well, up here, when you do special comments, for 11 years, you don't bag people because people make mistakes. But that was a silly thing to do from young Alex Mars. Like, I just can't fathom why he did that, because it was just always going to be a down-the-ground free kick, and you do not want to give Will Ford a free shot at goal for a silly mistake. And I'll tell you what, my brother would run out to him.
So Barton doing the ruck word up against Desert. Ball kicked off the ground by Bryans. They run the ball back into their half-forward line. Coming across was Lane. Didn't take it cleanly. Picked up Fantella. Boot the ball. Drives it into their forward line. Again, Ford's there over the top of the ball. Try to drag it in. It was also McDonald. He's on hands and knees. Actually, ball flipped out the back there. Did that pretty nicely. Again, contest made. And McDonald just puts boot the ball. Goes out long. Bel Post Hill with numbers everywhere. And the mark will be taken out there by Whitney. So Whitney just out of range, I would think. Needs an option. Going to go quick and long towards Costello. Oh, he used his hands and did that nicely.
He did.
And he is going to go back and possibly kick his second goal of the game.
But he didn't push him in the back.
Nope.
He just leaned off him and held him. And I've got no problems with that. It's when you push him in the back. It's come to a funny game, you know. Hang on.
So Costello plays on, kicks round the body, and I think that looks pretty good. Nick Costello has got his second goal of the afternoon. Bel Post Hill, their third. They move to 3-3. They lead East Geelong on 1-1. 21 gone. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
Again, when you need to kick goals, you want the ball in the hands of the blokes that can. And
actually, it's not. It's a point.
Is it?
Well.
Yep.
And he wasn't the right bloke at the time.
That stuffed us all up, hasn't it? So the ball in the hands of Mars, who's got a little bit to make up, hasn't he, Grubb?
A little bit. Look, I know I give him a bit of a serve, but now you forget about it and get on with the game.
Yep. He's played on immediately, has a bounce. It's brave in these days, but obviously the ground's drying out nicely. Looking long out in too. Oh, had a great grab that was by Skate. On his skates, because a quick handball and puts his teammate under pressure. But he's good enough. Nice little chip over the top there. Finds Monaghan. Monaghan right in front of the commentary box here. Looking for options. Not really a lot presenting, so he's going to have to go long. Just gets over Yates's outstretched hands. Oh, what a beautiful grab there taken by Andrews for Bel Post Hill. Chips the ball straight in the middle, looking for Costello. Be a good grab from there. Barton picks it up. No. Falls out of his arms. East Geelong now with numbers. Quick few handballs. Smothered there. Dill Whitney run on up. King wins it. And King will win a free kick for too high there. We've seen that one very, very clearly. So, hand just slipped over the shoulder.
I've got a funny feeling that other field umpire was going to let that go.
I think he was.
And you know what? I hate when umpires pay him from 30 or 40 metres away, but not when that happens. That's a good decision, Mark Nolan.
Sam King drive the ball along there. It's gone over the back of everybody. Picked up at the back by Andrews again for Bel Post Hill. Swings on the left, chips one over, looking for Dill Whitney. Got too much on it. So Billy Andrew takes this one. So Andrew for East Geelong now looking for his options.
Boy, someone's getting it right.
Nice little short kick in there. Is that right, mate? Thanks, Thanks, mate. We always get the players right, don't we? Hey, if we don't know, then no one knows. So Ryan Lemper has taken the mark. He'll be kicking, I reckon, from right on 50 to the southern end of Myers Reserve.
Take a good kick from here.
It will take a good kick from here, but he's walking in very, very deliberately now. Just crosses the 50, a little hop step out there, sinks a slipper into it. It's a great kick, very, very good distance-wise, but just fades away to the right. Lemper has his second behind for the day, and East Geelong second. They're 1-2-8, trailing Bel Post Hill, who are 2-4-16. So
It's
ball
just too far for him, isn't it?
Yeah, ball from Cubby basically brought back in over to Collins. Collins takes the mark on the old cricket pitch area here, still inside their defensive 50. Collins coming long down the line, looking for Costello. Andrew will fly over the back. Good spoil there by Lee. Ball spills out of bounds right in front of the Bel Post Hill coach's box. So Lovett might be off the ground for a spell, is he, at the moment? So
no, I think he's just coming back on.
He comes now.
So he comes now.
There you go. Timmy Barton and Calabezard to do the ruck battle here. Umpire throws the ball in. Basically, Barton wins the ball. Handball across to Bartel. Bartel, another nice little handball over there to Crombie. Crombie looking forward for Hugh Menzies. Ball goes through his hands. Picked up at the back by Bel Post Hill. Falls in the hands of Basely again. Handballs the ball across now. Looking long. Options out here. Great little kick to Tim Barton, who's in front. Great use of the body there by Ezard. Ball stays in. Still in. No, it's just gone over the boundary line now. Just outside the forward 50 for East Geelong. Can't quite see around that far. We need perspex windows all the way around this van. Boundary umpire.
Use the telly, mate.
Use it now. Love it. Love it to go up against Ezard. Oh, goes straight over the back of them all. Picked up there by Mulber Hill on the left. That's a nice little kick. Menzies just holds his ground, but Bo McNamara about to run on the ball. First man back. Picks it up. No. It's a free kick being paid for holding the man there. It will go to Bel Post Hill. So, chance here to relieve the pressure. Maybe to turn a bit of defence into attack. He's got Flakavenko standing all on his own. But he ignores that. Goes long down the line looking for Collins. Collins gets hands to the ball. Ball hits the deck. Picked up there by East Geelong. Free kick, I think, is going to be paid for too high. What have we done here? Yes, the free kick has been paid. So East Geelong take resultant free kick. Nice little short pass. Chopped off. Flakavenko picks the ball. Doesn't pick the ball up. Overruns it. Picked up by Menzies. Gets the handball out to Beardsall. Beardsall throws on the boot quickly. Been touched. Play on, says the umpire. So Kerrins with the ball now. Wrapped up straight away. Taken over the line, so the ball will be thrown back in. Right in front of the Quest infrastructure sign. So, of course, Quest Oval now up here. Brent Gerges has organised that sponsorship. Boundary umpire throws the ball in. We got Lovett versus, I don't know who that was that time. It was Jazipovic. Ball comes out the back here. Nice little handball out to Crombie. Crombie swings around. Oh, no, it wasn't Crombie. Sorry, Beardsall swings around. No one home at all. Basically takes an easy chest mark. Looking really long. It's a great strong lead, isn't it, out here? Costello's put a couple of those in so far. Adam Costello, this is, onto his trusty left foot, looking for his brother Nick. Nick takes the mark on his chest. Just forward to centre wing. Now he's gone long, looking for Yates. Yates in a one-on-one contest. Ball falls over the back to Dowsett. When the siren goes, 26 minutes. Bel Post Hill 2-4-16, leading East Geelong 1 goal, 2-8 on the Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard. Goal kickers, Dale.
Yes, well, I had Nick Costello in for 2, but he's only got 1. And Will Ford also has 1. And for East Geelong, the goal kicker is Ezard. So we're going to take a short break, come back. Second quarter action, not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
The second quarter, brought to you by Buckwheats Entertainment Centre.
And we're back here at Myers Reserve at the GDFL match of the round between Bel Post Hill and East Geelong. Sees the home side leading by, the umpires haven't fixed up the scoreboard yet, leading 2 goals 4-16 to East Geelong, 1 goal 2-8. Grubby?
Well, I quite enjoyed the quarter. You know, 2 of the best sides in the competition, playing pretty good football. They've got scrappy at times because of the pressure, but I enjoyed watching the quarter. I would have to just have a look back and say, you blokes before the game did point out that Bel Post Hill haven't been kicking that straight whatsoever. They've changed the scoreboard now to 4-2, but it could easily have been 4-2 instead of 2-4 and give them a nice lead, because I think they played well enough to do that. East Geelong, I thought they played well around the ground, but I thought they were well beaten up forward. And I don't know if it was the way the ball was coming in with the Bel Post Hill pressure or just the one-on-ones. I thought the back line of Bel Post Hill held up very, very strongly in that quarter. They're going to have to do it all day because they're going to be pressurised. There's no doubt about it. But I just thought Bel Post Hill looked a better side till quarter time. That can easily change, of course. But, you know, there's plenty of good players from both sides. Well, one of the Flaccaventos, you call him Flacavento, and I don't know if it's Jordan or Nick, but he'll do.
Nick's got the blonde hair, mate.
Yeah, Bowie Collins was okay. Yates, I thought, was really good. Basley was okay. I've got to put him in because Smithy will have him in his. Dylan Whitney was okay. The Costello boys were proving pretty lively. I thought probably their best player might have been Josh Andrews. I thought he was pretty good for the quarter. And with East, that young Ben Crombie, he gets better and better every week. Just the poise for a young kid is fantastic. Sam King, just in case Mitch is listening. I thought their best player might have been nearly Billy Andrew. He had a fair bit of the ball. He did a lot of work in the packs as well. And a couple of times when he got the ball up on the half-back line, he got down to the half-forward line to help out. So his running power was really, really good. I thought Jay Skate took a couple of nice marks around the ground. Mulvale was okay.
Which one?
Lemper's always
Which one?
okay. I only know one of them. Is there 2 playing?
There's
Is
two
there?
of them, mate.
I'm going for Austin at this stage. Although Ben did a couple of nice
I
things
think Ben was
too.
the better of the two, but anyway.
And I like John McIntyre. I've always liked him. He's a serviceable player and gives his best every week. So, yeah, quite enjoyable. We'll see what the next quarter holds. But if Bel Post Hill are going to win, they've got to kick straight.
Yeah, fair enough, Dale. Got anything for us, mate?
I've got
okay.
nothing to add to that, Spike, because as I said, the game itself was good. As I said, we wanted a contest. We got the contest. But unfortunately, Bel Post Hill, with those couple of opportunities they did have, as Grubb said, if they had made it 4-2, they'd be sitting a little bit more comfortable, and I think they'd be a lot more happy with the... I reckon they had a fair bit more of the ball than what East Geelong did in that quarter, so they didn't just get what they really deserved. So
That's the second time we've done that.
Yeah, I know. They can't afford
I've
to do
got
that.
nothing, and then we can't catch up.
Yep.
Wow. I do find it funny. So I actually think Alex Donald's been pretty good down back.
I had him down too.
And he was the bloke we gave the best on ground to last year over King. So I think we were right.
Yeah, good on you. Good on you.
Anyway, we had to get the second quarter action. I've sent Bats a message.
Persons on the terps, by the looks of it.
Have a look at him. Yeah. I've sent Bats a message, Grubby. So hopefully our drink arrives shortly. But you know what he's like.
Soft drink, by the way.
Soft drink,
Neville's
by the way.
Listening.
I don't care if Neville's listening. Neville can bring us out a drink then if he likes. Anyway, second quarter about to go underway.
Oh, did I give Nev a rap? That
was one of the most dead set. I think Mr. Middendorf's a bit jealous you're up someone else that far.
They almost had to drag me out with a trailer.
So the ball with the umpire and the ruckman go at it. McLennan gets the ball down. Andrew again moves the ball from the centre. Gave it back to McClellan. He was tackled straight away by Yates. And the ball won't be coming out of there. Umpire to come back and take possession once again. I think they're all having a conversation with the 900th game mandate. Ball again from that contest. Picked up Whitney. Got out the back. Handballs to Fantella. Handballs over the top to Ren Lovett. Back into the hands of Yates. Goes out wide. Harmer leads in the race for the ball. Mulville is there and he will take the ball over the boundary line.
Couldn't quite get the bounce he wanted, Smithy.
No. So again, umpire now about to restart play. Both ruckmen at the contest. Lovett front position. Taps it down into the hands of Whitney. Into the hands there of Costello.
Yes.
Costello went forward, and that's not a bad position in the body there by Timmy Barton, and he takes the mark. Now, he is inside 50 and in range here. Does he have a shot? Not too sure, but Timmy Barton is going back the sides to well, load up with a mongrel kick. Ball is going to stay in the field of play, and going back and getting a hand the ball was McDonald, and it will be touched over the line. We'll have a throw in just beside the behind post.
Well, according to the scoreboard, they're kicking a lot straighter now.
Yeah, 50 goals, 16.
50-16.
Wow.
Maybe that's what they're hoping for at the end. Ball
17.
Thrown in by the umpire. Again, ruck contest. Out the back, picked up out there. I think that was Fantella. Positioned himself well, but he's offline with the kick.
It bounced back and hit the post. It nearly come back for a goal.
Oh, did it? I'd already put my head down, Grub. So
Yeah.
two goals, 5 there, and it's going to be 1 goal, 2. Umpire now asking Mars to play on and move the ball. Kick, it was chips over the top, wasn't a great kick. Jones couldn't pick the ball up. Again, back in the hands of Andrew. He goes back towards centre wing. Good spoil out there. Again, some numbers there. Andrew was pushed down the contest. Gives the ball out to Menzies. Menzies had the running player come past. The handball probably didn't hit the target like he would like. But again, Bel Post Hill with some numbers out there now. Are going to be able to hold things up. Kicked off the ground. It runs back towards their half-forward line, but it'll be over the boundary line in front of Costello. And we're going to have a throw-in which will take place on the far side.
That's what I was saying at quarter time. You see Andrew was involved there, and there. He just keeps running and running and running.
So thrown back in by the umpire. And again, this time McClellan in front of the contest. Yates read that nicely. He picks the ball up, got the handball out the back into the hands of Collins. Collins goes long into their forward line, out the back. Went to Costello. Oh, nice collect there from Costello. Handball's back inside. Missed Barton. Put his teammate under pressure, but it's going to be picked up by Brian, I think it was. Inside. Mark has been taken by Fantella again. He goes and swings and goes quickly into the forward line.
Great football.
But again, some good defensive work there. Will Ford was waiting for the ball to get out the back. Didn't arrive. And now it will be
50 metres.
Yeah, Costello's run into the zone.
He's run into the zone, yeah.
So it's going to be delivered 50 metres down the field. And now the ball inside the centre square. Ball goes quickly towards Lamper. Up a contested mark. He usually goes quickly. He does so. Kick goes in short. And he's found Crombie, who's pushed down from behind the ball. I would think he's just outside range. He decides to go long and to the goal square. Flacavento getting back, and he will take the mark and hold things up for Bel Post Hill.
Quarter time, boys. Geelong West 27, North Geelong 6. Inverleigh 44, Belmont 18, Corio 23, Werribee 15, Thompson 28, Wint 6, Bannockburn 63, Anarchy 7.
So the ball now with Fantella gets the ball out wide. The kick didn't have the carry on it. That's going to be turned over back into the hands of Beardsall. Gone from the long sleeve jumper back into the short now. And Beardsall just outside his forward 50. Looks to deliver the ball long. Got a little bit of run and carry now. Steps inside 50. That's a nice looking kick towards goal. Distance there. Accuracy is not.
Deserve one.
He is off line 1-3 now to East Geelong. 4-2-5 Bel Post Hill. And we have gone 4 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre. Second quarter scoreboard.
He's got the glove on too, Beardsall.
Yeah, I reckon the bloke did that magnificent interception. I think it was Mitch Helmore. Would I be right in saying that?
Could be, yes.
He's playing, so it could be. Anyway, ball with Baseley now, looking for his options coming out of fullback. Decides to come grandstand side, kicks the ball long, looking for Yates. Andrew at the back could almost fall into his arms, nearly did. Menzies picks up, swings on the left foot, little chip over the top, too much carry on it for Crombie. Does his own roving work, picks up handball in the middle. There's Andrew again, very clever. Holds the ball up, chips it straight back to Crombie. Not 15. It doesn't matter. He's been taken too high, as determined by the umpire. So not 15. I think it may have been 15, Grub. But
doesn't matter. That's what he paid.
Doesn't
he got
matter
it anyway.
The free kick's there. That's the way it goes. So Ben Crombie looking to put his name on the score sheet. East Geelong, hopefully open their account for the second quarter and bring the game back in nice and close.
Well, both him and Billy Andrew were involved 2 or 3 times there as well. So
just a lot of good runs. So Crombie comes in deliberately at goal, but he's pushed it across and it's through for another minor score. Ben Crombie's first for the afternoon sees East Geelong go to 1 goal 4, trailing Bel Post still 2 goals 4 on the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
And they got a bit of the yips to themselves now.
They have, haven't they? So Baseley brings the ball back in, looking out toward the Barton direction. Comes off hands, hits pack. That Andrew picked the ball up. He's been pinned, has he, for dropping the ball. So resultant free kick here to East Geelong will be with Monaghan. So Harry Monaghan has time, looking for options into his forward line. A lot of movement. Here we go. He's finally found a teammate to come across. Players come from all directions. Picked up there by, is that Collins, picked the ball up, wrapped up immediately. I think the umpire has no choice but to throw it up, and that's what he's going to do.
might have been Fasika.
Might have been Aaron Fasika. Played with his father. So the ball goes up. Wren just disposes of his opponent as he chooses to. That'll be Collins onto the ball now. Gets a handball across. That's Bryan. Kicks the ball long, looking for Barton. Cruel little bounce there. Picked up by East Geelong. Wrapped up immediately to tackle. Gang tackled there. Tyler Skoronsky with the final tack. Umpire takes the ball now. Almost a true centre wing position. We've got Lovett versus McLennan. Lovett wins it comfortably. The ground. Skoronsky runs onto the ball, overruns it. Picked up by Bartel, and that we pinned for holding the ball. It's a great tackle by Tyler Skoronsky. So Skoronsky now right in front of the commentary box, looking for options. Everyone's sort of overled now, so onto his left foot, just goes long in the Timmy Barton direction. Not a bad direction to kick to. Ball hits the ground, picked up here by McIntyre. Handballs the ball across, but too much on it for Monahan. Works well back, picks the ball up, and the umpire's going to pin him for holding the ball. Jack Yates, not surprisingly, with a great tackle. Yates now 60 out from his own goal. Looking at options, you've got Costello in the pocket if he wants him. He sort of heads in the no man's direction. Forward flies, chopped off by East Geelong. Collins Fasika with the ball now, wrapped up immediately. Umpire not going to pay a free kick this time.
Well,
has called it.
Different umpire, because neither of them had any prior opportunity whatsoever.
Yeah.
Neither of them.
Ball thrown up in the air, deep in Bel Post Hill forward line. Barton taps it over his head, but shark by East Geelong. Long kick down the left here, looking for Menzies. Menzies gets under the ball, basically picks it up. Looking for options, handballs out. Here's Skoronsky again. He's got Lovett short, or he's got Bryans there, but the ball chopped off by Mulvihill. Bo Collins can't get it. Bryans win it. McNamara emerges with the ball, goes long towards Timmy Barton. Barton versus Lee. Lee does well to bring the ball to ground. A clever little foot in there, kept the ball inside by Yates, but it's finally rolled over the boundary line now. Deep in Bel Post Hill's forward 50. We've got Timmy Barton going up. Is he going to go against Lee or... No, McLennan's down there, so we've got Barton, McLennan. Well, neither really win it. Ball hits the deck. Picked up by Fasika, who feeds it out somehow. To no advantage, wrapped up. And the 900 gamer comes in and says, I'll have the ball, thanks. Dill Whitney hands it back to him. So about nearly 50 out from Bel Post Hill's goal. Ball in the air. Barton, McLennan. McLennan wins that one down. Shark by Bryans, who throws it on the boot nice and quickly. Running onto the ball was Yates and Monahan onto the deck. Every player wrapped up now. Ball going nowhere. Umpire says, I'll have it again, thank you.
It was pretty cagey then, Nolan. As soon as he played the free kick, he told that bloke to go down there so he didn't have to run himself.
McLennan wins a tap, but it's gone into the corridor. Kicked off the ground by Nick Costello through for a minor score. He's second for the afternoon. Bel Post Hill 6. They're 2-6-18, leading East Geelong 1 goal 4-10. We've gone 9.5 minutes on the Buckley Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
So Ali Mars doing the kicking in as we've done for most of the day.
Bats is completely ignoring my message, Grub.
He's probably too thirsty in there, Bats.
Yeah.
So Mars now deciding he's going to go to the far side or the highway side of the ground here at Mars Reserve and goes long and outside. Lovett in front. McLennan tried to work his way to the front, but in doing so has grabbed hold of Ren Lovett. And the free kick will go to that player. Ball will be heading back in Bel Post Hill direction. So Lovett now with the ball, runner out the back, handball goes to teammate there, Andrews, gives the ball a long kick into the forward line. Now there's a free kick being given, going Bel Post Hill way. I'm not too sure who to.
It's forward, I think, for a push.
He's a bit slow getting off the ground, so as he's...
I tell you what, this doesn't look good. He looks like he's actually hurt.
They're both on the ground.
Yeah, I think the East Geelong bloke's going to get up and hobble for a while, but gee, I hope Will does too. I really do.
It's Andrew too, isn't it? I think.
Was it?
I reckon it is.
He's looks like an ankle, is it?
He's hobbling too, yeah.
He's not moving. Neither of them moving too well.
Yeah. Well, Ford's decided he's not too confident taking this kick. He's probably moving better than Andrew at this stage.
Well, I was going to say, at first I thought that Andrew was probably going to be the better off than Ford, but I changed my mind now because Ford's going to go back and be all right, whereas Billy Andrew is hobbling.
Well, they're both going to come off the ground, are they? No,
and
they're both staying out.
Both clubs can't afford to lose either of them.
So who's got the ball in their hand? Oh, Dill Whitney. That's a good replacement kicker from out there anyway. So Whitney now kicks back towards goal. Ball will be in the goal square. Don't worry, it's going to go straight through over the umpire's head. Dill Whitney's got his first goal of the afternoon. And the third now for Bel Post Hill. They move to 3-6. They lead East Geelong 1-4. 11 gone. Buckley's Entertainment Centre second quarter scoreboard.
That's quite strange. He's still wandering around, Will Ford. While he's still out there, I think the umpire should have made him have his kick himself, because Dylan Whitney's a magnificent kick, and he just showed that. I didn't see what the free kick was for originally, but it looked like both players didn't come out of it too well. Billy Andrews still hobbling, and I reckon he's going to come off.
I reckon it's a corky.
Yeah, I reckon it's a corky.
It's a corky the way he's moving now.
I think Will Ford's happened to him when he actually hit the ground.
Well, umpire paid a free kick in the middle here to Ren. Love it.
What was that for?
I have no idea. Quickly on to Dill Whitney, who looks forward for Costello. Beaten to the ball this time, but wrapped up there. East Geelong lying top of the ball, just inside the Bel Post Hill forward 50. I have no idea what the free kick was for.
Can someone tell me what that free kick was for?
No, I don't know. Well, unless someone coming in the square after.
That's the only thing I can think of.
But I didn't see the boundary umpire notify anyone. Anyway, ball with Costello. Quick little handball out. Dill Whitney again. Two inside. Less than a minute. Dill Whitney kicks Bel Post Hill's fourth. Takes them to 4-6-30. Leading East Geelong 1-4-10. And we have gone 12 and a half minutes. Buckley's Entertainment's second quarter scoreboard.
Well, they've got a bit of luck there, and I'll find out what that free was for. I think it must have been running in the square, because it went to the ruckman.
Yep.
But I tell you what, they've got to manage Dylan Whitney with his injuries and whatnot, but I bet you they wish they wanted him every week, because he is just a beautiful footballer to watch. And that was a bloody beautiful, beautiful goal.
Good team goal, Grub.
Yeah.
All right, back in the middle. No free kick being paid this time.
And they're getting on top.
Yeah, well, all right. Umpire Nolan throws it in the air. McLennan versus Lovett. McLennan probably wins that one down.
I'm not so sure.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. The ball is now in the hands of Collins, who handballs further in balling for Skoronsky. He's gone over. He's actually probably hurt himself here, and he's taken Dill Whitney, I reckon, with it. So Bel Post still two players there in the middle. McLennan kicks them long into attack. Picked up, chipped across here, basically on his own. Not a great kick.
Not too well.
But he's no, neither of them are. Got the ball up here. Basically wins the ball. Wins a handball over the top. McNamara goes to knock it on. Doesn't happen. Picked up by Ben Mulville.
He's going to call for the stretcher.
Oh, here we go. What a great mark that was there. One-handed leading out. We've got to play it out in the middle there. They'll be calling for the stretcher. I think he could have possibly knocked himself out in the contest. Landed on Dill Whitney. Dill's looking a bit sore too, so we have the ball. The ball will be in the hands of Zach Smith, I think, once the stretcher has been on and off the ground.
He's moving himself now. He's better than he was 2 minutes or 30 seconds ago.
That's good. And let's not take away the fact that Zach Smith took an absolutely fantastic contested mark with one hand, the left hand. So, as happens now when stretcher comes out, sides congregate and have a chat. I never understood this. And then you got to run back to where you come from, Grub.
Yeah, I used to duck over and see if anyone had a dart over the fence. You do things differently.
Sip on a can.
Yeah, you do things differently in those days. Three-quarter time when it was really cold.
Half time, mate. The Stones. Here comes the Stones match.
Stones, green ginger wine. Obviously, they don't do that anymore.
There's something wrong with them, mate. I don't know. You've been knocked out, Grub, in a footy match.
No, too tough for that.
Alan Woodman knocked me in the next week one year.
He's up.
Well, that's good. That's good. But does he have to go on the stretcher because they brought it out?
Well, because they stopped the game, he probably should, shouldn't he?
Yeah, well.
Well, I'd put him on anyway.
Oh, he's not. He's out. He's still. I don't think there'll be anyone coming. He's got
the Mark Nolan legs.
He's still moving better than Mark. Well, that's. It's never good to see. And that's Skoronsky, who's.
Well, I'm glad that he doesn't have to use the stretcher, but what are the rules with that? If you come off on the stretcher,
well, I thought
you can't go back on.
Yeah, you can. As 20 minutes, but as long as you got to go through the race.
Yeah.
I think
he's coming straight off. So
but he's coming. I think he's done. That was a hard hit. I mean, it doesn't matter how soft that looks out in the middle there. You're talking about, years and years of Mary Creek clay out there. She's hard as a rock.
But I don't care what you do. You always bring him. If you can walk like that, bring him off through the interchange just in case.
Yeah,
that's what I'd be doing.
I don't think he'd be coming back on.
I didn't actually see the contact. How did the hit?
Him and Dill Whitney collided.
Because I saw him land on Dill.
So
I didn't see the original hit.
Yeah, it was. They both going at the ball and.
Because he might have pinched his wallet at training on Thursday night or something.
Well, ducked out for his shout.
So that means he cannot go back on the ground?
Not now.
Not now, he can't. I don't think there's any intention of it anyway. But anyway, we now have the ball in the hands of Zach Smith for East Geelong. about 40 metres out. No real angle to speak of. So Zach Smith, probably a goal that East Geelong need. Coming in now, very deliberate shot at goal. Hits the boot, looks pretty good from here. Goal umpire tends to agree, hasn't moved. Zach Smith has his first, the second for East Geelong. They moved to 2-4-16, trailing Bel Post Hill, who are 4-6-30. We've now gone 16 and a half minutes. Buckley's Entertainment, second quarter scoreboard.
Well, I suppose with the stretcher going out and the incident happening, we sort of took away a little bit from what Zach Smith actually did, although you didn't, you said it, but that was a great contested mark. It showed that he's back in form. And I tell you what, even though it was a great mark, it was an even better kick because it did not look like missing, and they need him on song to get him back into the game. Without Watson Searle there especially.
So McLennan and this time Timmy Barton go at it in the ruck contest. Picked up there by Barton. Little boot to ball. It's a ball going forwards. Vasika in front. Ball comes to the front of the contest. He went back, tapped it out nicely. Went towards Costello. He couldn't trap it. Mars went and got it. He was tackled immediately. And the umpire will come in and take possession of the ball. So again, both ruckmen getting down there. Barton just pushes McLennan out of the road again. Again, I'm not too sure on that. But again, the great handball into the hands of Yates running towards
goal. Free
goal.
kick behind play.
It's a hold. I think he signalled a hold.
And it's against Nick Costello, I think.
He looks happy about it too, doesn't he?
Oh, not much.
So it's going to be a free kick. I must admit, I didn't actually see it.
No, I didn't either, but we were watching the footy, so, you know. Gee, that's a bad one because that really it went straight through the middle, didn't it?
No, again, I don't know that either, Grub.
I watched the kick to point.
I looked back. I didn't see it go through. I looked back when I heard the whistle. Hello.
No, I watched it down, mate. Went through for a minor score, but it'd still be in their attacking zone, not being cleared out.
So Mars now with the ball is going to relieve some pressure for East Geelong. He decides to come club room side. Again, kick out towards Lemper. He's up front of the contest. Mark not taken. Ball pushed through. Lemper went back and collected it. Yates collected him. And the umpire said that was a little bit high, so there's going to be a free kick this time going to Ryan Lemper.
Hobbling too.
Yeah. A bit of a So Lemper now just not wanting to put too much pressure on that foot, but he's got himself balanced up a little bit now. Will kick. Kick goes back into their half-forward line. Ezard out the back, pans up. Taller man takes the mark. Looks to play on again. They move the ball very, very quickly. Goes back towards Smith. Ball gets out the back. Mark not taken. King's there, I think. Got the handball out. Ends up in the hands of Smith again. Round the body. Goes back towards the goal square. Menzies comes up and takes the mark.
And 50.
And the umpire
and
says he's going to give him 50. Flacavento said he claimed he touched it. Menzies runs in, and there's another goal to the East Geelong side. So that moves them now to 3-4. They trail Bel Post Hill on 4-6 when we've gone 19 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
I think they've got to get a trainer out to Lemper. There he goes now. You can't hobble around like that because it's all right to try and run an injury out, but he's been doing it now for about a minute and a half. You've got to come off, get some treatment, otherwise you're one man down, and you can't afford to do that here. But a really good goal to the Eagles, and they're back in this game. They're only 8 points down now.
All right, back in the middle. Got Barton against McLennan. Ball up in the air. McLennan sort of wins that, falls onto his head in the end. Handball ends up in the hands of Collins. Collins looking long for Costello. He gets there. What a nice kick that was. A beautiful strong lead. Nick Costello swings around on the right, looking for Ford, who uses his body. Positions out, can't take the mark. East Geelong, the resultant frick falls in the hands of Ali Mars. Mars goes long, looking out there for Dowsett. Picked up by Bel Post Hill, sent back into attack. Will Ford comes out and takes a fantastic grab. So Ford will be kicking from just on 50, I think. Is a beautiful kick, but we'll see what happened out of that collision. Whether he's lost a couple of metres in his kicking or he's back to full fitness. So Ford now for Bel Post Hill. East Geelong have kicked the last two, so Bel Post would like this one just to extend that margin out again. Ford has gone short. That's a nice little kick to Costello. Found space, but it's gone over his head and landed in the hands of McDonald. So Alex McDonald now for East Geelong. Another short little chip out there.
Come on, Quinny.
Chipped in the middle here. To find Skate. Skate now, a bit of time, looking at his options, decides to come back across, and that worked out all right in the end. But we've got McIntyre in a paddock here. As long as he wants, swings on the left, goes over the top. Oh, Crombie went to take the mark. Cubby basically put the hand up and sport. Well done. Back to Crombie, who then Tips the ball back into McLennan, goes over his head, which isn't an easy task, but falls back into McLennan, gets the handball out. Out ball here to Mulville, who goes short again to Crombie. Crombie plays on immediately. Chased by Costello. Looks long towards Menzies. There's a free kick being picked out here, and it's going to go to Jordan Flakovenko. So Flakovenko goes in short to Collins. Collins for Bel Post Hill. Chips in the middle again. Finds Fantella, who's just inside the centre square. So Fanta's handballs are back to Beau Collins. Collins goes very wide looking for Kerins. Kerins takes the mark on the chest. Will Kerins now will take his time looking for options. Goes long. A great run by Cubby. Baser there, takes the ball on the chest. 75 out from goal, gives the handball over the top. Is that Andrews running on? Jones running.
Jones.
2 bounces. And then does the Mickey McGuan and rolls on it, but he picks the ball up himself again. Oh, nearly going to kick the ball off the ground, but decided against, which was probably a smart move there. Picked up here by, was that Crombie?
Yep.
Goes long again, but no one knows. Bel Post Hill players, picked up by Collins. Long kick here by Andrews, looking for forward again, over his head, and the umpire's paid a free kick for too high to Will Ford. So, wasn't sure there's a lot in that one, but the umpire's seen it as he sees it, Grub, and they're out there doing the job and we're not. So,
well, I'm not commenting on it because it's on the other side of the ground and I've got no binoculars. I think
well, you managed to pick up who the player was that I didn't know.
Yeah, I think it might have been a chop of the arms.
No, I think well, either or. So anyway,
I don't think he got him in the head. I think he might have got him in the arms. So that's fair enough. If that's what the umpire sees. That's what he's got to pay.
I don't think he's going to pass this one off, hopefully. So Will Ford going back, be kicking from about 45, a 45-degree angle.
No breeze.
No breeze. No breeze. Look up, there's no breeze here. Anyway, in comes Will Ford. Very, very deliberate. Just gives himself a little bit of an angle. He's kicked it. It's going to reach the goal square and punch through for a minor score. Will Ford second behind for the day. Takes Bel Post Hill to 4 goals, 7:31, leading East Geelong 3-4-22. There's been a 50-metre handed out, so we're on the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard. We've gone 23 minutes. Be a long quarter.
So umpire Nolan decides to give 50, probably a little bit more than 50. It goes to Beardsville. Beardsville play on now, goes out wide. Mark taken out there, looking to bring the ball in quickly. They go on swing. Ball comes in towards centre half forward, going back. Mark not taken. Bel Post Hill through McNamara. Have a little bit of time and space. Little chip up over the top, and again, didn't hit the target. Picked up out there on the far side of the ground. And that was by Bartel. Got the handball outside. They run the ball into their forward line. Coming across, Ezard couldn't take the mark. He goes back and collects it though. Handball back inside into the hands there of Crombie. He goes back into their forward line. But back there again is Baseley and takes the mark. So steadies things up. Goes across the ground. Player by himself. Fantella. Yates just come onto the ground. They see him. He goes wide towards him now. Yates does that nicely. Takes the mark and will settle things down. So Yates now just indicating that. Getting players to push across. Wanting to go towards Barton. Barton is going to be the target. He's up in front. Should make this because Beardsville got the contest. Puts the ball back. Costello runs onto the ball. Tries to keep the ball running in front of himself. Has done so nicely so far. He has taken over the boundary line. We will have a throw in the half forward line. And it's going to be with the umpire. Umpire to throw it in. Ren Lovett doing the work. McClellan back there with him as well. Lovett front position, front of the contest, not picked up. McIntyre sits over it. Bryans jumps on top of it. Players jump on top of him. Umpire, good decision, comes in and takes possession.
You reckon it was, do you?
Yeah.
I don't reckon it was.
Umpire, good decision. I didn't know he was umpiring.
I just reckon he dived on the ball, so he had to get it out.
But then the players come over the top of him.
Doesn't
so
matter.
All high. Notice the umpire let that go then, and it's going to be another ball up, this time similar position.
If you just flop over the ball and dive on it, then it's up to you to get it out. That's a free kick.
So the ball now from that ruck contest, picked up. McClellan gets the ball out, kicked off the ground by Fantella. Onto the hand, on the foot of McIntyre over the boundary line. Free kick going to Fantella of Bel Post Hill.
You don't have to be dead to be stiff.
No, you don't.
So Fantella now looking at his options. He's got short, but he decides to go longer. Lovett can't get the ball. Vasika runs onto it, runs inside 50, looks at goal, kicks offline. Ball runs through for a minor score. And Vasika, his first score of the afternoon. Bel Post Hill now to 4-8. 3-4 to East Geelong. 25 gone. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
See, the wind usually brings that one back, Smithy.
Yeah.
What wind?
When it's here.
There's never any wind up here.
Oh. Usually there is wind. It would have brought it back right through the middle.
Beardsall now to bring the ball in, coming out to the commentary side. It's a great little kick out in front of Melville. That's a fantastic kick. Fantastic. Ben Melville takes the ball, looking at his options. He's called the play on. Goes long here, looking. That's a fantastic kick as well. Ezard takes the ball on his chest. He's got runners everywhere, but he's decided to go into the middle. Not such a great kick. McNamara gets a hand to it, but goes over the back. Quick handball out towards Menzies here. Got time, but overruns it. Lets Bel Post about in the contest. Gets the handball to King.
High.
Possibly too high. Umpires let that one go, and he's pinned him for dropping the ball. So King there. Pinned for dropping the ball. So Bel Post still take the resultant free kick deep in defence. Looking at options. Goes across. It was Jones who's kicked it out towards McNamara. Spills the chest mark. Good enough to recover. Handballs the ball over to Yates. Yates looking long forward. One out up forward. Great hands by
someone
forward.
else.
We've just seen he's probably a bit too far out, and you've got players running on here. That's a fantastic kick. Picked up. Oh, no, overrun, but finally picked up. Oh, no. As you know, he's kicked it. That's Jordan Flakovenko, who has used every part of the 6.5 metres down there to kick Bel Post Hill's fifth. They move to 5-8-38, leading East Geelong 3-4-22. We've gone 27.5 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
I must admit, I'm going to have to change my glasses.
Me too.
I thought it
went through.
I thought it bounced off the shed down there. but it was magnificent football from Bel Post Hill from all the way down. And that's what you like to see good sides do. East haven't been able to quite get that cohesion going at the moment, but that was really good football from Bel Post Hill. I know you called it was a drop chest mark out here, but it was a magnificent effort from McLennan. It's probably had a hand in it. But Yates' kick was magnificent, and so was Forwards. Thanks, Bats. And that was a real good piece of football. And that's the football that if they continue to play, they are top three. If they can continue to play that, I've got no problems with it.
We're off to the Sphinx tonight, Grub. We got a voucher in the box here. So ball from the ruck contest picked up it there. Bo Collins, I think. No, it wasn't. It was picked up by Yates. Got the handball out. Again, Bel Post still trying to work hard through that middle of the contest. Umpire will let things run. Don't know who Jack Yates was tackling. I mean, his own man was trying to come through, but he
don't care who he's tackling.
No, he's just
as long as he's tackling someone.
He's a lot tougher than his old man.
Yeah. Long as he's tackling someone, he's happy.
So the ball again with the umpire thrown down. Lovett gets the ball out. Again, this time Collins it was, got the ball out of that contest. Flakovento went through, collected the ball, couldn't pick it up cleanly. Beardsall's going to arrive, got the handball outside. Teammate was under pressure, but he got the handball back again. Now looks to run from centre wing, kick the ball into their half-forward line. McNamara in front. Ball gets out the back, picked up out there. Very nice work there from Andrews. Got the 1-2, and then they work the ball back towards centre wing. Numbers with Bel Post Hill. Yates goes across. He takes the mark. Bo Collins has interfered with the Beardsall. And Beardsall, the recipient of the free kick, goes short. Mark is taken out there. Mulville goes short and quick into the forward line, but Bo McNamara read that nicely.
He reads
slips
it well,
in,
doesn't he?
and he has taken the mark. Called a play on now by the umpire. Goes sideways. That kick wasn't too good. Goes out towards Flakovento. Kept the ball inside. Might have been better to keep it over, and that's what he's done. Umpire says, let's throw it back in as we tick towards 29, or just over 29. But as I said, a couple of minutes lost with the player going from the field.
It's a horrible kick by Bo.
Yes, it wasn't good.
You don't see that very often.
So the ball thrown back in. Umpire going from the contest. Ball comes out the back. Bel Post Hill again. Clear it. Go back towards centre wing. Mark will be taken out there. And I think that's Skate that's taken another mark. So he's been pretty good in the marking division today.
Like him,
Delivers the ball long back into their forward line. Contest required. Bel Post Hill. They getting the ball to ground. Picked up. Handball comes out. Harmer it might have got the ball out. Actually, it was Quinn that got the ball out. Ends wide. Ends back in the hands of Smith. Picked the ball up. He is tackled, brought to ground, got the ball out. Not too sure how. Andrews got his head back over the contest. It's still being pushed around, coming through. Quinn tried to get the handball out. He was tackled. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a free kick shortly. It's picked up and gone back towards goal. McNamara is the only one standing there. So Bo McNamara decides to transfer play out wide. Running player out there is Jones, takes the mark.
Oh, that could be 50.
And is.
Umpires asked him to come back now, Beardsall. So they want to keep things moving here. Late opportunity in this second quarter to score another goal. They're going towards 50. Umpire says that's where the mark is. So Jones doesn't waste any time. His kick goes short in towards forward. Can't take the mark. Gets back on his feet. Tried to get the ball out. Helmore did nicely. It's been held up back there now, and the umpire will come in and take possession.
I've got to applaud the umpire down there before with the tackle on Smith. He flung the head back as if he'd been hit in the head, but he couldn't stooge the umpire and he let it play on. A good decision.
So again, umpire about to restart it. Ball goes back in the air. Ruck contest. Ball comes out. Whitney tried to sneak through the contest. Didn't take it cleanly. High, says the umpire. Free kick against Collins. And it will go to...
And 50, mouthing off.
Andrew, who's back on the ground.
50 for a bit of lip.
Well, I tell you what, I'll give him some advice. Never, ever, ever give Mark Nolan lip.
No.
Because he will ping you lost like that. And he's quite entitled to do so when there's, having a go at him.
So Andrew now decides to transfer the ball out wide. Lempo, I don't think he's going to move much better than he was before.
No,
He's not too good at all. Taps the ball back inside. That was okay. Mars comes across. He's brought down in the tackle. Umpire circles and says, no, let's have a ball up in that position.
They've got a couple of blokes down here. Like Dowson's been playing pretty good footy. He's been quiet today.
Yeah, he's hardly caught him at all today. So the ball from that contest comes down, taken by McClellan out of the ruck contest. He is tackled, and again, we will have another ball up. So as we go over 31 minutes in the second quarter, it is Bel Post Hill 5-8, leading East Geelong 3-4.
Ball's in the air, love it. Wins a tap down towards Collins. He overruns it. On hands and knees, fed out by East Geelong. Del Whitney, the first one there. He's left it behind as well. East Geelong moving forward now through Beardsall, who swings around, centres the ball beautifully. And over the back here, we have Zach Smith. Zach Smith has taken the mark on his chest. So, chance for East Geelong. Bel Post looking at attack before. It's a short kick. Transfers straight down the other end of the ground and has fallen in the hands of Zach Smith, who is kicking from roughly the same spot he kicked his goal early in this quarter. So, we know the distance isn't a problem. And it was a beautiful kick, as you called, Grubby, last time. So,
well, let's just hope he kicks through it like he did last time.
So, Zach Smith now coming in. Be kicking for probably just on 40.
Well, he's going to go close to the man on the mark.
He's going very close. But he's done it, and you're probably right, Grubby's gone too close to the man on the mark. He's hooked it to the left. Minor score. Zach Smith's first point for the day. East Geelong's fifth. So East Geelong to 3-5-23, trailing Bel Post Hill, who are 5-8-38.
Can I just ask a question?
You can.
The bloke standing on the mark, is he allowed to jump around like that? When you stand, I know he's not moving forward or backwards, but he's actually allowed to jump up and down these days?
He's moving,
That's what
isn't
I'm
he?
saying.
Oh, I don't know, Dale. I'll have to ask Mark Nolan.
Thank you.
So, ball brought back in by Baseley. Finds Quinn in the back pocket here for Bel Post still looking for his options. And there goes the siren. We've drawn 33 and a half minutes in this second quarter. But he's in the second quarter scoreboard. Score sees Bel Post still 5-8-38, leading East Geelong 3-5-23. Goal kickers, Dale.
To this stage of the game, Dill Whitney is the only multiple goal scorer with two, one each to Jordan Flacavento, Nick Costello and Ford. And for East Geelong, Smith, Menzies and Ezzard are their goal scorers. We're going to come back and go through everything that's happened here in the first half. Hopefully looking forward to a great second half. You're looking to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
the third quarter. Brought to you by Lifeline Geelong and Southwest.
And welcome back to my reserve at Bel Post Hill. A little bit of fog rolling in by the look of it. So hope the game doesn't go too late. Bit of frog in the throat. Half time sees Bel Post Hill 5-8-38 leading East Geelong 3-5-23. Grub, thoughts before we get into the start?
A wonderful half of football. I just did go through a few players. East Geelong are pretty much decimated here. I reckon they've got maybe 8 who are walk-up senior players not playing. And now as I watch them run out, Lemper was still limping a bit and so was Billy Andrew, but they just obviously can't have them off the ground. But you've got to play who you're up against, and I think Bel Post Hill, they deserve their lead and maybe should be a little bit further in front.
So third quarter action just about to start. Ball in the air. Lovett gets the ball down. Went as far as McIntyre. The handball ended up in the hands of Collins into Placavento. Jordan, that is, goes long into the forward line. Forward in front. Had 2 or 3 gaps. And that is a quick start to the third quarter. And Will Ford, 13 seconds or 15 seconds in, is going to go back and shoot for goal. And as I said, his accuracy is all required here because he is pretty much at the top of the goal square. Although he's gone back another 20 or 30.
Come off the long run.
Yep. So Ford, after half-time, a perfect start here for Bel Post Hill. Taking all the time he needs and some. So he comes in now. Kicks that goal. Umpire moves across only marginally. He has got his goal on the board. He's second. And it is a 6 now for Bel Post Hill. They moved to 6 goals, 8. They lead East Geelong on 3-5. As I said, less than a minute in this lifeline. Third quarter has gone.
Well, brilliant start, obviously. Bang, 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 straight through the goals. And I just want to comment on when you say he goes off the long run. Most blokes that go off the long run come in and kick it from halfway and go nowhere near the man on the mark. And if they're going to do that, that's brilliant, because we saw in that last quarter, Zach Smith, he didn't go off a long run. He just wandered in. And from the minute he took his first step, I said, oh, he's going to go too close. And then they got to hook the ball or kick it over him. So long run's fine, because as long as you don't go near the man on the mark, beautiful kick.
So back in the middle we go once again. This time Levitt gets hand on ball. Lovett gets hand on ball. Out to Bo Collins. Collins again quickly into their forward line. Kick didn't come off in the right direction, but he's set a task there for Costello. Keeps the ball in front of himself. That is Adam. And the ball has gone over the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in. They've got possession. They've got it into their forward line once again. Did you get a plate?
No, just 7-11.
That looked very similar to my drive off the first the other day, Dale. That kick from Bo Collins.
You know why? Because those pies were so hot. I only got one of them. They were too hot. I only ate one for the whole lunch.
No, the second one I had was just beautiful. Grub. Ball thrown back in by the umpire. Front contest. Barton gets the ball down at ground level. Picked up and cleared away by Crombie. His kick goes in towards centre forward. Basically coming through. Picked it up. Got the handball. Needs to get the handball. Did so. Went back to Costello. Interception out there was by Melville. The ball is still bobbling around, and players trying to work on it. Bryans, it is at ground level. He picks the ball up and is tackled. Umpire says, let's give the ball back to me.
So even though Cubby didn't get the ball away, it was still Costello had his body on the line too. Brilliant.
So again, Lovett gets the ball down. Back to Collins. Out the back towards Caleb Basely. Basely quickly into the half forward line again. Coming out to meet the ball. Costello went to the ground. Probably didn't need to. Over the top of the ball there is Monaghan. Umpires let things go. Ball is coming out of the contest. Again, Flacavento looked to get the handball away. Did so to Costello. He kicks back towards the goal square. Pressure now. Forward. Tackles. Ball comes out of that contest. Again, pushed back. Picked up off the ground there by Bryans. And I think he has. Umpire says no. It has gone through for a minor score.
That looked like a goal to me.
Well, the one we think, Grub, but that one I thought was too, but it has gone through for a minor score.
I'm backing the goal umpire in.
Big mistake by the defender, though. He's handballed it out. He should have handballed it through the points, because it almost cost him a goal.
Beards will now to bring the ball back in for East Geelong. Plays on immediately, goes long out to the side, no one can see. Bo Collins out with the ball, gets the old 1-2 there, gets the ball back. It falls in the hands of Costello, who gives the ball over to Yates. Yates goes long back to the forward 50. Marking contest there, falls over the back.
Wow.
Well, we've got a goal there to Zach Jones. That one was definitely a goal, so that is Now the 7th for Bel Post Hill, who move on to 7.9.51, leading East Geelong, who are still at 3.5.23. We've gone 4 minutes. Lifeline, third quarter scoreboard.
Yeah, I just hate these blokes that change their names too, but it was a great goal over the back from Zane Jones.
I said Jones.
Zach Jones, you
I
idiot.
said Zach, did I? I don't
You know
care.
what's going to happen when you do that. Smitty's going to pick on you all day.
Oh, just let him go, mate. There's some bloke that
I
does
don't
it.
care. I don't care. I don't care.
They kept the ball in.
Quarter time scores, Grubby. Do you want them? Well, listen to your dribble. Geelong West 73, North Geelong 14, Inverleigh 52, Belmont 36, Werribee 64, Corio 35, Thompson 44, Winch 21, Bannockburn 108, Anarchy 10.
Wow.
Back in the centre. Ball goes up, Ruckman at it again. Love it wins that one just forward. Ball hits the deck, a bit of mud in the middle there. Quick handball out, comes to Crombie. Crombie throws the ball on the boot quickly, sends East Geelong forward. Andrews intercepts. Ball lands back in the hands of King now. King looks up at a teammate there, or dropped by Mars. Picked up by Baseley. Handballs across to Flakabenko, who, well, up and under. It might work out well to Yates here. Yates takes the mark. Still inside defensive 50 for Bel Post Hill. Chips it out wide now. Finds Baseley, who's now marshalling the troops. He's got probably got Andrews down here if he can get the ball that far. Been called to play on. Kicks it long. You got Nick, Adam Costello luckily falls into his arms. Plenty of space here. Each Geelong need a man up, I would have thought. Adam Costello now. Defensive side of centre wing. On the left foot goes long, looking for Wren and for Lovett and Barton. Ball off hands. Wrapped up immediately is Lee by Barton. Ball not going anywhere. Umpire says, I'll have that, thanks. And ball it up. True centre wing, club room side of the ground.
28, Tom Bryan. Just ran for the ball like he's allowed to do. Good block.
So Lovett wins the tap down. Wins over the head. Yates, as he does, always the bottom of the pack, diving the ball, trying to feed it out. Lovett now jumps in as well to help out. Ball not going anywhere. And I reckon the umpires have to ball this one up there. So we've advanced the ball about 3 metres. Crombie and Yates, the final two up, which doesn't surprise anyone in the box, I wouldn't have thought. Umpire ball McLennan versus Lovett again. Lovett wins that one, but only as far as Mulville. Lovett gets it back, hacks the ball out of mid-air. Barton tried to run onto it, didn't get beaten for the ball. Ball lands in the hand of Andrew. Andrew spins around, seems to be moving on. He's got the ball in his hand, chips across to Crombie. Nice little kick, that one there. So, young Ben Crombie now, looking at his options down the ground, been asked to move on by the umpire. Goes long down the line. To no one in particular, coming across a fantastic grab by Josh, and I'll get him right, Josh Andrews. So, Andrews now. Straight back the line where it's come from, looking for Yates. Oh, Crombie one-handed attempt, put it down, handball out to Collins. Collins goes long, one-on-one down there with forward. Good. Too strong. Just got himself in a nice position early, didn't he, Grub?
Yeah, and didn't push him out, didn't do all the things we've been talking about. That was just too strong, too big, and a beautiful mark.
And so Will Ford now. Again, the distance won't be a problem. It's the accuracy here. Oh, is that a breeze I can feel picking up here?
It is.
It is. It is. But anyway, Will
Ford tell a different story.
Yeah, they do.
Might be just chill.
They're sick of blowing around, says me, sitting in shorts, T-shirt and thongs, mate. Anyway, Will Ford now, about 35 out and 45-degree angle. Hits the boot beautifully. Goal umpire does not move. Doesn't even wait for it to go through. Will Ford has his third for the afternoon, second for the quarter. Has the 8th for Bel Post Hill. They got an 8.9.57. Leading East Geelong, who are still on 3.5.23. Lifeline, third quarter scoreboard.
They're just doing all the things that you're supposed to do, and they're doing them right. Like, as I mentioned, Tom Bryans, he's allowed to run and go for the ball, and he just crossed the East Geelong player's path just to let the bloke down there have an easy mark. You know, I reckon against Werribee they weren't doing that, so there was no easy marks. When you do that, it makes life easier for every single player. And when you kick it up to the big Will Ford and he takes a mark like that and kicks a goal, they're on song.
So the ball back with the umpire in the middle. Ezard's gone in now. Love it over the top again into the hands of Yates. Little quick kick goes into their forward line. Costello is there and he's done that pretty nicely and taken the mark. Now he's inside 50 and I reckon he gives himself a little bit of a chance here.
Inside 100, he gives himself a chance.
So Nick
Put it this
Costello.
way, he's walking back to his mark with his back to the plate. So that tells me he's going to have a shot no matter what.
has one for the afternoon. I thought he had two, but
I did too.
Umpire said no, that wasn't the case. There's a short kick, and he's looking for his
Good one,
brother.
too.
And he's got the brother right on the chest. So Adam Costello, this time from about 30 metres out directly in front, will go back and shoot for goal.
I tell you what, Costello to Costello's happened quite a few times today.
Yeah.
Just need an Abbott running around there, don't we?
I'll tell you what, if his name wasn't Costello, Nick wouldn't have passed it. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Of course, there's a third one up here now too, isn't there?
Yes, there is. So it's Adam this time. He's taking the shot for goal. And he's directly in front. Kick on the way. He's offline. He might just score. He has only just. So he's second behind for the afternoon. And now Bel Post Hill to 8-10. They lead East Geelong 3-5. We've gone nearly 10 minutes. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
18 shots to 8.
Should be further in front.
Look, they'll come back, East, so you've got to kick goals when you got the opportunity. You must kick them.
So Beards will now to bring the ball back in. Looking long out towards Ezard. He's got Lovett, touches it down the ground, so Ezard wasn't in range. It goes long. Lovett taps the ball down cleverly. Bo Collins runs around on it. Wrapped up, gets the handball away to Fantella, who ran out of space. It's pretty hard to do at Bel Post Hill. Big ground, but he's run across the line. So almost where the 50-metre line intersects the boundary line, the ball will be thrown back in. Bel Post Hill's attacking end of the ground. Lovett and Ezard to do battle again. Ezard takes front spot. Lovett gets out. Ezard wins the tap, but there's been a push. Oh, Shepherd. They paid a Shepherd, I believe. Don't know who it's to. He's paid it against Bo Collins, I think, by the way it's he's saying there. So, anyway, I didn't see it. East Geelong going to the centre. That's a fantastic grab with one hand by Ezard, who now looking for his options further up. With him down there, it's a bit hard for someone to kick to. So he decides to go backwards. Oh, it's not a great kick, but he done that well. Plays on immediately, runs around Costello. Nice long kick looking for Menzies. Oh, no, leaves it for a teammate. So ball has been taken by King. Centre half forward for East Geelong. The options around, goes short. Doesn't get where it should go to. Picked up there by Quinn. Goes long down the line. Costello went to punch it forward. Running forward to Zerka. A foot race here between Viserka and Monaghan. Costello gets into the lender hand. Ball running forward to Bel Post Hill, but trickles out overnight. Costello's kept it in, gets a handball to Viserka, who is wrapped up immediately. Umpire blows the whistle and says, "You've let that one go, sunshine." So, free kick to East Geelong, right in front of their coach's box. And I think Monaghan will be the recipient, will he?
I think that might have been Tommy Bryan's come out of defence.
It might have been
and
too.
He's played a really good game down there.
He has been good. Anyway, we have Lee with a resultant free kick for East Geelong. Just inside his defensive 50. Goes long. Hasn't fallen anywhere. It's going straight to Jack Yates, who has been very good as well, Grubby. Yates chips the ball across into the hands of Cubby Baseley, who then chips the ball across to Dill Whitney, who marks the ball 60 out from Bel Post Hill's goal. Swings straight around the left foot. Delivers the pass towards Costello. Standing on his own. Swings around, has a snap and missed.
I don't think I've ever seen him miss goals like that before.
Nick Costello is his third behind for the afternoon. Bel Post still third for the quarter. It's 8:11:59, leading East Geelong 3-5-23. We've gone 12.5 minutes. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
They kick straight here, and they're gone. They've left them with a chance in the game.
Told you the conditions don't suit them, mate. There's no wind.
Well,
they're allowing for it.
I think finally you might be right.
Hey? I've never seen Cosy miss a goal like that in my lifetime.
He's missed two.
So Beardsall doing the kicking in duties once again. And he's again going to come clubroom side of the ground. I reckon Menzies will be his target, but he's actually gone shorter there. That was a great kick. Mark has been taken out there. And it's through Helmore.
Yep.
So Helmore now will look to deliver the ball further afield. Let's hope he doesn't go backwards. He goes out wide. Menzies comes up at the ball, and guys will take the mark. So still defensive side of centre wing. So Menzies now, he's looking to go short once again. Kick had to be good and was. Mark is taken out there. I reckon it's Skate that's got the ball now. So again, there's not too much movement forward of the contest. No. That's where their problem is. The ball now goes into the forward line, but coming across, Mark has been taken. There was actually interference from Flacavento, the umpire's called, and a free kick will go to Jozipovic, and he goes short. Mark's taken by Melville. He plays on quickly. This is Austin. Goes along and across the ground. Good kick. And the mark is taken out there this time by Ezard. So inside 50.
What's his name?
Jozapovic.
It's got Skoronsky here.
Hey? It was 21, wasn't it?
Yep.
Oh, different.
26. 26 it was.
How are you going today?
Jozapovic.
No, I'm just saying, with all these names, and you're going all right.
Oh, I thought you were having a crack at me there.
No. Skoronsky, Jozapovic.
Well, he's no longer on the ground, so that's probably a bonus.
That's helped, Joe.
But Ezard now from going to kick right on 50, and he will need to be every bit as good as that. He steps inside, kicks long. Has he got the distance? He has got the distance. He hasn't got the accuracy. Actually, I thought that was right out of the whack there. And it's another minor score to East Geelong. They are 3-6, 8-11 Bel Post Hill. We have ticked over 14.5. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard. Ball back in quickly, goes towards Barton. He's up in front, out the back, goes in the hands of Ford. Handball inside to Vasika. Vasika now runs and carries, looks up, little chip inside. Good present there from Whitney. Whitney's got some options further afield. He goes across the ground. Running player, Harmer, can step inside 50, can load up, can look at goal. That's a shocker off the side of the boot. Ball goes to the forward pocket. Not going to be marked. It's going to be pushed through for another minor score. And Bel Post Hill now to 8-12. And as we said, East Geelong 3-6, 15 minutes gone. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
It's a horrible kick by Harmer. Beardsall with the kicking injuries again. Coming out here looking for McLennan, who snuck over the back, but he decides to handball it instead. The ball ends up with McLennan by the look of it. Barton a bit late on the scene. Handball's back inside now. A bit of run for East Geelong. Nice little measured kick into the middle there. So East Geelong, centre wing. Plays on immediately, gets around there. It was Lemper, who's still limping. Keeps running. Handballs out to Menzies. Menzies now with a bit of time. Oh, it's about 10 metres, but Ali Mars takes the mark just outside 50 now for East Geelong. Nice little couple of patches here for East Geelong at the moment. They need to capitalise and put a goal on the board. So Mars goes short. Beautiful kick out here to Smith.
I don't know about his name either. Is it Lemper or Limper?
Limper. It's who he is, not what he's doing, mate. So the ball in the hands of Zach Smith has 1-1 for the afternoon. He'll be kicking from just inside 50. The southwest pocket here at Myers Reserve. So swings round, kicks it long, goes into the hot spot. Ball holding up in that very stiff breeze at the moment. So Bel Post Hill going to punch the ball through, and eventually it does go through for a rush behind to East Geelong. They're second behind for the quarter. Takes them to 3-7-25, trailing Bel Post Hill 8-12-60. We've gone 16.5 minutes. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard. Basically bring the ball back in, goes to the far side. Great contest there. Ball brought to ground. Handball by Yates. Goes back to Flakovenko. Chips the ball over the top. Running onto it. Well, Vazirka was going to go. No, Bel Post still running forward. That's a great long kick to Costello. Ooh. Turn around. That's well picked up by Bartel. Well read. Sends the ball back for East Geelong. Finds it. Well, that's got to be a free kick to Menzies, I would have thought, for front-on contact.
See, Nolan had to pick that one up from 40 metres away. The other fella didn't quite get it, but that was a definite free kick.
Front on contact. Menzies short. Finds a teammate just outside 50 for East Geelong now, so...
That's one I don't agree with, though.
What's that?
That free kick.
Oh.
He had eyes the ball.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, the ball lands in the hands of Mulville. Austin, that was. He turned the ball over. Vasirka takes the mark. Goes out wide to... Is that Brian? That's not Brian's again. That's...
Jones.
Jones out there. Thank you, Grub.
Oh,
you're looking at the TV screen anyway, so was it? Is that Zach or Zane?
Oh, no.
So anyway,
Smitty that said it, not me.
Jones goes across, finds Stagger. Stagger takes the mark, plays on, kicks long, one-on-one contest. You've got Wilford, gets in front. Oh, Costello nearly rode the ball beautifully. Picked up here by East Geelong. Spilt what he should have taken, but that's going to be holding the man, I would have thought. Played for the free kick, and McDonald has it. Chips it across to Crombie, who went to play on. But now, looking at here, could be cut off here by Bryans. He's everywhere today this quarter, Grubby.
Yeah, I like his game.
Yeah,
I like
been
his
good.
game.
Tom Bryans goes short out to Caleb Basley. Basley now slows things down just a fraction. Looking at options, forward, back, sideways. Plays on, goes long look for Timmy Barton. Barton and Lee. Barton just built the mark, just fell when he hit the ground, wrapped up immediately in a tackle. Umpire will have no choice but to come in.
Good decision.
It wasn't a good decision.
What did you have for lunch? Sandwiches, pies, and drugs.
Anyway, the ball's got up in the air. We tap down to Jordan. Flakovenko gets a handball out towards Dylan Whitney. Whitney paddles the ball in front of him, right in front of the East Geelong box. Dylan Whitney's won a free kick for too high. He's still lying on the ground.
Because anyone that says that wasn't a free kick's got to be on him. That's a free kick every day of the
If
week.
you're running back with your eyes on the ball,
He
and the
did,
bloke's
and he
coming
had,
out of the way.
he had his back to the play.
Mark Nolan's having a bit of a chat here. I know the East Geelong coach's box. Or
Oh,
The other
no.
bloke might have been made front on contact with him.
No, he had his eyes on them. He was coming
Anyway,
towards the ball.
anyway,
Oh, you're on.
Dill Whitney looking at options. Kicks to the hot spot. There's a strong lead on by Costello. Puts the hands up, takes a fantastic grab. Well done by Dill Whitney. Waited, and then got the lead presented by Nick Costello, who's kicked 1 goal 3 this afternoon.
He's still as good as anyone going around, isn't he?
Yeah,
Whitney.
he struggles, doesn't he, mate? Yeah, no. Imagine being that good at that age. Anyway,
Just his foot service is sensational.
he's a beautiful kick. He's just a beautiful kick.
Yeah,
He's got so much time too when he does it. Nick Costello coming in. Goes with a drop punt here. Has pushed it across, has he? They're all celebrating Bel Post Hill. The goal umpire comes to the middle and
it's a
says,
goal.
there you go. He can't kick it from directly in front, but he slots them through from the pocket. So that's second for Nick Costello. Fourth for Bel Post Hill in this quarter. Takes them to 9 goals 12. 66, leading East Geelong, who are 3 goals 7, 25. We've gone 20 minutes, Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
It's crazy, isn't it? The one we thought went straight through the middle called a point. The one we thought might have just flicked across as a goal. But it doesn't matter. One each way. We're all even. And that's the one Cozzy had the kick. He's missed a couple that he doesn't normally miss. And I just think they're getting too far out in front for East to catch up here.
So the ball back with the umpire in the middle, over the top McLennan, but Barton actually got a second swipe on it. Melville picks the ball up, he's tackled, left the ball behind, then hung on to Barton, who's coming through. Collins was there, Barton back on hands and knees, Boyne's up. One umpire says there's a throw, lifted the ball.
I think Timmy's happy.
The Crow throw.
So it's going to come back, and free kick is going towards Monaghan. Monaghan's got a player outside, uses him now, comes out wide to skate. Again, Dowsett leads up, but he's ignored, goes back into the middle, dangerous kick. Melville does a good mark there. It's Austin there. So Austin Melville just, again, looking for some options. McLennan leads up at him. He decides just to go a little bit longer. Ezard over the back, Flagavento.
That's...
And it's going to be a free kick going to Ezard.
Well, the actual definition is an unreasonable attempt, right? But at this point in time, I don't think that was. He went up to try and punch the ball. It didn't seem to push him in the back. I don't know where that came from. I think that's a wrong decision. I don't want to bag people, but I think that's a wrong decision.
So Ezard has a shot earlier from the other side of the 50 metre. It was
A mongrel punt, is what you're going to say?
It was beforehand. This time he just needs to make better connection because he actually got the distance.
Mm-hmm.
He will step in, a bit of a swagger there, loads up, goes long. It will land in the goal square. Good spoil from the goal square. Harmer is there, who'll be first onto the ball. Handballs over the top, goes to Bryans once again. Got boot to ball. Actually, didn't travel too far, but good pressure there from Mars. Has kept the ball in their area. Now there's a free kick being given. High tackle, says the umpire. Free kick will go to Crombie, it looks like, out there on the far side. Mm-hmm. So Crombie now looking at his options inside. Goes to the pocket. Menzies under the ball. Out the back, Smith. Got the nice clean pick up on the half volley. Again, back to support was Collins. Goes back to Mulville on the left boot. Angles one back towards the goals. That has been pushed through for a minor score. So East Geelong now to 3-8. And Bel Post Hill on 9-12. And 22 gone. So they're doing the right thing at this stage, Bel Post Hill, controlling the ball.
Their defence has been stingy, and out of that 3-8, I reckon 3 of them have been pushed through and rushed. So,
the ball from Baseley to the back pocket. McNamara just taking his time now and just slowing the process down. Flacavento across the ground if they want to use him. He comes to Baseley. So Baseley now looks in that direction. Smith just being a little bit coy, I reckon. He was going to go quickly. Another short kick. So some Bel Post Hill play here. Ends up their hands of Quinn. He decides to go and play longer. Goes out towards centre wing. Ford's out there. Brought himself up the ground. Collected by Menzies lightly. Goes inside to Dowsett. Goes over the top. Back to Crombie on the left boot. Looks inside. Again, just filling the hole was McNamara, but didn't see Baseley. He slipped in. Good tackle there. Ball comes back into the hot spot. It runs towards their centre-half back position. Picked up out there again. Whitney handballs over the top. Called the play on. Bryan's got the handball out wide, and Collins now has it. And player out wide by himself. Went over the top of Jones. Needs to go back and recover. He will get the ball. Did that very nicely. I don't know how he did it, but it goes good. Some good body work there to Ford. They run through the middle of the ground. They've got a player streaming through and Harmer. Harmer's got players further afield. He had to stop and prop. Umpire. Well, he called play on. By the umpire. Yeah, I don't know whether he had the fair chance to stop them, but there's anyway. East Geelong with the ball now. Goes to McClellan. He's not sure what he wants to do with the ball. He's got support out the back. Went to Beardsall. His kick was turned down, or Pamble was turned down by Ford. Goes back into their forward line. Costello, Adam, picks the ball up. In and out of trouble. Got rid of it. Umpire said incorrectly, though. Free kick will go to the defence of East Geelong. They come across the ground. Kick has to be good. Wasn't. Picked up by Flacavento. He angles one back towards the goal square. It's not going to have the run on it, so they'll get back and cover it off. Bartel picks the ball up. Players outside. Goes in that direction now to Melville, I think it is, and he goes short inside. Brother to brother. And it's going to be now a little chip out wide. They're running the ball out of defence to Lee, sorry. He goes short inside. He's quieted down since his first half. Yeah, and it goes over the top. And again, beat of work there for the big ruck and McClellan. He did well. And Barton got the handball to Whitney. Whitney goes back towards player in Baseley. Baseley looks inside. Kick had to be good. And again, Crombie read that nicely. Couldn't finish it off though. Our ball is kept alive, back in the hands of Bryans now. Goes out wide, forward in a one-on-one contest. This time the ball comes to ground, support there. McIntyre couldn't pick the ball up. Taps the ball back to Harmer. Runs, carries, goes back inside. Costello, little chip up over the top is good. Mark not taken out there by Flacavento. Ball is still running live. They worked the ball out. East Geelong now again with some numbers. Got support. And the hands of King, I think it was, went across the goal. And again, another dangerous kick. But it's okay because the mark has been taken out there by Crombie. Crombie goes straight up the ground. Again, the ball must have air from it, I think. But Beardsley's got to run onto it. He's put himself into trouble and got out of trouble. Goes towards Ezard. Little push. And their mark has been taken out there. Ezard on centre wing. He goes back inside. Again, kicks okay. Lemper comes up. Limper. Yeah. He goes short, and again, douse it. Ball in hand. Option, he goes Mars, but he decides to go longer. In front, Izard, ball out of that contest, picked up basically a little bit of time and space. Didn't know where he wanted to go, but had plenty of time to run around. Got the handball out the back. Gets it back now, so now basically looks at his options, comes straight down the ground. He's Costello worked up to the contest nicely, pushed over the boundary line by Melville, and we'll have a throw in on centre wing. So we go over 26 minutes in the third quarter. It is 9-12 Bel Post Hill. They lead East Geelong 3-8.
All right, ball to be thrown back in. McLennan versus Barton. Ball comes in. Barton takes front position, taps the ball down towards Costello, overruns the ball. Oh, there we go. And there's the siren. Great little call there. 9-12-66 Bel Post Hill, leading East Geelong 3-8-26, three-quarter time. Miles reserve. Dale, goal kickers.
Yeah, goal kickers to this stage today. Will Ford with 3, 2 each to Nick Costello, Dill Whitney. Jordan Flacavento 1 and Jones 1 also for the Bel Post Hill side. East Geelong 3 as they were at half time. Smith, Menzies and Ezard. Take a short break, final call to action. Not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. Boys, there's
we haven't gone to a break. Okay, rightio. Grubby, you got some scores for us, mate? Or do you want me to get them?
No. North Geelong 22, 3-4-22 to the Geelong West Giants 12-10-82. Inverleigh 8-4-52. Trail Belmont 9-6-60. You wouldn't believe how that could possibly happen after last week. And Werribee Central's 11-11-77, lead Corio 7-6-48. Winchelsea 3-6-24, getting mauled by Thompson 13-12-90. And Bannockburn 24-11 are leading Anarchy 2 goals 7-19.
Well,
Geelong's largest spa showroom, Letterscape Spas and Landscape.
And we're back here at Myers Reserve for the GDFL match of the day. It sees the home side. They're 9:27 now, Grub. That scoreboard's going all over the place. Yeah. Home side with a 41-point margin at 40-point margin at three-quarter time. 9-12-66, leading East Geelong 3-8-26. Richard.
Well, it was all Bel Post Hill, actually. They probably should have scored more. Tony Does, can you get the scoreboard fixed, mate? We don't know what the score is. 9-27. I knew you were kicking bad, but not that bad. But, yeah, look, inaccurate kicking's probably stopped Bel Post Hill from being probably 10, 12 goals up here at the moment. And this is the best I've seen them play. Now, I got Smithy looking back through a few players to see just who is out of the East Geelong side. They tell me 8 or 9, but a lot of the players we saw a few weeks ago are out here, so I'm not quite sure that's the truth.
Well, Cord Mars.
Yes, we knew that.
Hoff or Haw, we called him Hoff, but I think they come back and we said it was Haw. Yeah. Jaden Fanning.
Yes.
Billy Spicer and Jake Watson-Searle.
So
there's 5 that played that weren't in this side from last time. So that's just roughly the 5 I could just quickly went through and looked at them then. So
a couple of them are just average good players.
Yeah.
A couple of really good players. So I think, I don't know, they might be over-exaggerating a little bit here. And I think that takes away from the performance of Bel Post Hill because, as I say, if they kick straight, the game was over at half-time, I think. And that quarter, they owned that quarter. And when the ball did get up into the East Geelong 4 line, they bloody stingy bastards, Bel Post Hill, they would not give him a look in. So
have some very underrated players, don't they? Like Braden Staggart just does a job.
He just does his job. He probably never win the dinner for 2 at the Hotham Hotel, but maybe he should one day. But
Tom Bryans,
fantastic.
Quinn.
Well, at the moment, unless something happens to him, he could well be in my votes, Tom Bryans. Obviously, he won't be in Smitty because Smitty doesn't watch
Inverleigh a point behind now.
Yeah, that's a strange one there, isn't it? Very strange. But, look, it's a good game to watch. It's good football, as it should be with 2 of the top sides playing. But I just like the way Bel Post Hill plays today. They didn't play today anywhere near what they played against Werribee when we saw them here earlier. It's a different side. Same players, but different side. So
Chris Hemley wants to come into the box and talk about his one AFL game where he did not register a stat. For St Kilda?
Jeez, I had 41 of them in Sunshine Seconds.
Well, final quarter action, not too far away. If we can play that intro, mate, we'll be all good and get it going. Morris Finance final quarter just about to start.
You can sing it for us, Dale. You'll be fine.
Well, there's no words, so he's a chance.
Marceau. Mime it. Hey?
I can see this introduction coming about the 4-minute mark of the last quarter.
We can get Jules
here it is,
for
ball
us.
back in the middle of the ground, umpire within the hand, and it's Lovett again that gets the ball out of the contest. Little kick didn't travel too far, but only as far as Fantella. Pushed the ball back into the slippery surface in the middle, picked up Mulville, goes into the half-forward line, coming across Basely, did that nicely, puts boot the ball, runs towards centre wing. Harmer leads in the race for the ball, got support at the back by Jones, tapped it back to Harmer. He's got the ball, just needs to get rid of it, can't do so. Good tackle, Monaghan. Umpire said had chance, and it's going to be a free kick to Monaghan. So they need to do everything right in this quarter.
He's saying he had him by the arm and he couldn't get rid of him. That's a credit to the tackler.
That's it. That's what you need to do. Just pin one of them. Monaghan now plays on and kicks the ball into the forward line. That was dangerous, as you said, Grubb.
He died.
It's picked up now, and it's run out of the contest. Handball over the top from Staggard. Yates is there. Went back and tried to win possession of it, but hands and knees. It is Fantella. He can't get the ball out, and again, the umpire this time will come in and take possession of the ball. Yeah, I know.
I'm saying nothing.
You'll go,
saying a thing.
Ball again, this time Lovett front position. McIntyre actually won the second ruck contest. Ball comes into the hands of Yates on hands and knees, as he does a lot of the time. Picked up, run out of there by Whitney. Little short chip is good. Flacavento, I think it is, taking the mark. So Flacavento, players outside, uses a player now in Andrews. He runs from the half-back line, travels over the centre wing nicely, goes long into the forward line. Target, Costello. Thank God he pulled out of that, because Will Ford would have knocked the Judases out of him, and the ball goes out wide now. A bit of pressure from the forward half, and it's picked up there by Costello. That's Nick, goes back to Flacavento. Jordan, his tackle, brought play to ground. Umpire said no prior opportunity there.
Played a sling tackle.
Did he?
Yep.
Umpire says that was not too good. Ball is going to come back inside. Mark is taken out there by Monaghan. So he now set his things down. Again, the short kick, Mulville, Austin. He turns and goes, looks further afield. Good lead up there. Lemper had first go at it, couldn't get the second one. Coming through, picked up. Andrews nicely done again. Handball goes back into the hands of Whitney. Looked at one option, wasn't good, so decides to go long into the forward line. Went towards Costello. Oh, good tack on the ball there by Beardsall. He plays on. His kick had to be good, was nice into the hands of Dowsett. So Dowsett went one way, looked for the handball back inside, put his teammate and Andrew under the pressure. Back to McClellan, back to Andrew. Little chip up over the side. Good vision. Out in the running for Dowsett. A little bit of time on his hands here. Looks back inside. Caught the Mars, and he comes up and takes the mark. So Cordner Mars now to go back and shoot a goal.
Cordner Mars, he's not playing.
Oh, that's right, it's Mars. He goes short.
I got one back.
And that kick wasn't good, so I'm lucky it wasn't the case because that would have been straight off the ground if he was. Ball now goes in the hands of Collins. Got a runner outside, goes out towards Fantella. Had the grab at it, and I thought he finished it off there, but he obviously didn't. Umpires goes to Crombie now, and a kick into the forward line. Bo Collins is back there, got the handball over the top, back to Fantella. Handball's up over the top, a little bit of time and space. Jones, handball's back inside. Whitney, Bo's back outside to Fantella. They mucked around a little bit too much there, Bel Post Hill. Ball has gone back over the boundary line, and it will be thrown in between half forward and centre wing. All right. 3.25. We've travelled in this.
3.25. I think you're talking what the temperature was, Dale.
Oh, it's getting close to that too, Spider.
Anyway, ball to be thrown back in. Lovett and McLennan to do battle out on the far side here. Give Dale's eyes a rest. Lovett leads the front, almost grabs it out of the pack. Ball hits the deck. Diving in was probably Yates. Nothing unusual there. Umpire comes running in and says, I'll have it. We'll ball it up where it landed. So, said just about tick over 4 minutes. Ball goes in the air. Lovett, McLennan again. Lovett wins it one cleanly down. Picked up and sharked there by Andrews. Swings it forward into the forward line for East Geelong. Lands in the hand of Crombie. Tries to take on a tackler. Gets pinned right at the very end. Shonky kick butt. Picked up here by Jack Beardsall, who is offline and registers the first score for the last quarter to the East Geelong Football Club.
I think his game's been good since quarter time, Beardsall.
Since he's gone back.
Yeah.
Since he's gone back. Basically, in short, finds Kerins. Will Kerins swings it out wide. Is that Andrews, is it, with the ball in hand right now? Andrews, Ezard stands the mark. Goes short again to Basely. He got it, worked it out to 50. And Cubby having a look around his options. The boy's calling it for long down the boundary line. He's been called to play on, so he's had to do that in the end. Timmy Barton flies, ball punched away beautifully. It's ground, wrapped up immediately, East Geelong, and umpire calls for it. The ball will be thrown up just in front of the social rooms here on the western side of Myers Reserve. Ball goes in the air, McLennan and Ren Lovett. Lovett taps the ball down again. Bryans runs on it, gets a nice little kick to it, over to Barton, then goes over to Jones. Jones to Costello. Costello to Costello. Costello back to Jones. Stops and props, gets around a couple. Goes long, looking for forward. One-on-one contest might fall short here. It has. And
shouldn't have gone back.
Shouldn't have gone back. It's a fantastic mark there taken by Helmore. He's had a pretty good day, I have to say. The ball's been down there a fair bit. So, Helmore, what's happened here? They've let it play on. So, the ball goes over to Beardsall, goes in short. No, Beardsall's ended up with the ball now. So, Jack Beardsall.
He's pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah. He has. It was the glove of Andrew that threw me out, mate. He goes across to Dowsett. Dowsett now on the far side. Looking long here, one-on-one battle here. Kerins pushed out by Mars. Cubby Basely, he's been everywhere today. So taken off the ball. Out in front, Ali Mars wrapped up immediately there. Quick gets a handball out. Oh, another great tackle there. Ball fends back to Bel Post Hill. Falls to Jordan. Flaccabenko gets the handball over the top. Short little kick down the line here. Looking for and not quite finding McNamara. Wrapped up Dowsett. Gets the ball forward again now. Looking back in the centre here, East Geelong into their forward 50. Punched out by Collins along the ground. Probably need to pick that one up. Andrews does just that. Breaks the tackle, gets it across to Collins, swings on the left foot. Goes out towards McNamara, takes the chest mark. Handballs off quickly to Basely. Basely goes long looking for Flaccabenko. What a great kick that was. Flaccabenko turns around, goes into the centre. You got Timmy Barton standing all on his own, which you probably can't do. So Timmy Barton takes the mark, 40 out from goal, directly in front, kicking to the southern end of this Myers Reserve. So Timmy Barton for his first score for the afternoon.
I think if I was McClellan, I'd be saving my legs.
I'd probably just come off now and have a rest.
No, he's going to the goal square.
He's going to the goal square. What's wrong?
Timmy will kick this.
He'll kick us into the cricket. He'll kick us in the cricket nets.
They got another bloke on the ground who's not on the team list.
McLennan.
What's going on with you blokes?
No, I didn't say it.
One of you is right and one of you is wrong with Flacavento. Flacavento or Flacavenko? Which one's right?
Well, it
Doesn't matter, Barton.
Doesn't matter. Timmy Barton, don't worry about that. Put your glasses down. Timmy Barton has his first.
Can you say Whitney properly?
Can Grubby shut up? The first for the last quarter goes to Bel Post Hill. They moved to 10-12-72, leading East Geelong, who are 3-9-27. We have gone 7.5 minutes. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard. Well, I got something to say because I've had enough of Grubby already. I'm going to go coach Werribee. Grubby.
Oh, you might as well. But I tell you what, that goal was drawn by the brilliant play around the boundary line. It drew the East Geelong defenders, and of course, big Timmy Barton, he bit smart. He thought, I'm not going over there because it's going to come here, and he did, and a beautiful kick for goal, Timmy.
So back in the middle we go. Ball from the contest. Yates over it, picked up. McClellan gets the ball out, goes to McIntyre, couldn't pick it up cleanly. Brian went back and he did pick it up. He goes back into their half-forward line in front. Costello fended the ball to a nice spot, tried to tap it back through his legs. Barton was there to assist, got the handball back to Costello. Over the top, goes forward into the hands, or just through the hands of his teammate there in Vasika, picked up by Flacavento, went at goal, and that was Jordan. He's missed, and it's through for a minor score. 10-13, and now to a Bel Post Hill, 3-9 East Geelong. We've gone 8.5, final quarter. And Beardsley again pushing back to do some kicking in duties. So he plays on, he decides to come clubroom side, goes out. That's not a bad mark out there to Mulville. And this is Ben. So he looks back inside, goes towards Dowsett, unmarked, and he takes the mark and will turn and go into their half-forward line. Flacavento's there, trapped the ball nicely, set it up for his teammates to help and assist. But the good clean pick up through the middle of the ground was from Simmons. Haven't called him at all today, I don't think. He probably has, but I'd probably call the wrong player. He goes into their half-forward line.
No way.
Nah, that's what I reckon too, Grub. Picked up, and McNamara put his teammate Collins under a little bit of pressure. Love it to Flacavento, and he goes long out of defence back towards centre wing. Marcus not taken out there. Barton can run onto the ball, decides to kick it off the ground. He'll have to go and chase it now.
Yeah.
So Timmy Barton says, hang on, I'll just push you away. Pick the ball up, put it down again. Picked up. Vasika goes outside to Costello, looks up, goes long. Favoured kick towards forward. Ball, good defence there from Helmore. Kicked off the ground by Ford, off line through for a minor score. So 10-14 now to a Bel Post Hill, 3-9 to the East Geelong side, and we're ticking towards 10 minutes, final quarter. Morris Finance scoreboard.
Beardsall brings the ball in, nice little kick there. So he ran it long down the line. Another nice kick in space. McLennan comes across, looking for and finding Mulville. He handballs back in the middle of Andrew, who then handballs over, looking for Lee, but he's been paid a free kick down the ground. Late tackle by Jack Yates. So Tim Lee takes a resultant free kick, kicks the ball into centre half forward where the mark has been taken by Simons. As you said, you haven't caught him. We've caught him twice a minute. He goes out to Dowsett. Dowsett just outside 50 on the far side of the ground here.
Well, before I said Dowsett wasn't playing very well, he's had 8 touches since.
Yeah, well, good work, mate. Oh, what a great mark. That
beautiful.
was the back of the pack. That was Andrews again, was it? He's been very, very good. He comes short to Flacavento, who then goes wide out to Kerrins. Kerrins has got Vasirka on, so Aaron Vasirka now. Halfback, Bel Post Hill, looking for options down the ground. He's chipped one over the top to the advantage of Costello. That's a great kick, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
He's into
no
the space.
chance.
Oh, Costello, a little bit of a twirl on the finger there, thinking he's Michael Jordan. Goes in short, looking for his brother. Who,
a few times today.
Yeah, have. They seem to work out well.
To someone else instead of your brother, Costello.
He chips it in to Fantella. Over to Flacavenko, handball. It's go through the middle here. Bel Post Hill, straight down the line from Dill Whitney, and that's a fantastic grab there taken by Mitch Helmore in the last line defence. So he plays on quickly, puts his teammate under huge pressure.
Good night,
Great
Irene.
tackle.
What a tackle.
Play on, the advantage has been given. There's absolutely no advantage.
There wasn't
there.
any.
It shouldn't have been play on it. It shouldn't have played on anyway. Harmer takes the mark. It's been deemed not to have gone 15. Knocks it out. Picked up by Lee. Chips the ball out wide towards Dowsett. Here's his 9th possession, mate. Dowsett goes over the top to Menzies. Menzies in an absolute paddock up here at Myers Reserve. Touches the ball on the ground once and looks long for options. Hasn't really kicked at the teammate's advantage. Andrews gets back, spills the mark, but he's got plenty of time to recover. People back there to help him out. He's got the help by from Kerins. Kerins sees the ball safely over the boundary line. Probably 30 metres round from the East Geelong goal.
I think he'd be quite happy with his first game back, Menzies. He's been in the play, but not in the best, but he'll be happy with that.
Getting plenty of touches. Ball comes in. Was it Skate wins that tap down, snap across the goal. I didn't even see who picked that up and kicked it.
Did you?
I did not see who picked that and kicked it. There's absolutely no excitement because one of their Bel Post Hill players gone down in the square. I've got no idea who kicked that one. Not a clue. I couldn't tell you, Dale. Sorry, mate. But that's the first goal for the second half for East Geelong. They've gone to 4-9-33, trailing Bel Post Hill 10-4-74. We've gone 13 minutes. Morris Finance, final quarter scoreboard.
I think it went back to the goal square, so...
Hey?
I think it was... I'm not too sure, but who's over in the goal square, I think. So ball back in the middle of the ground.
Well, that's Mars.
No,
wasn't him.
The bigger bloke. Ball back down the middle of the contest. Picked up Mulville. Goes outside to his brother. Handball goes back to McIntyre. McIntyre, they're starting to run from defence. Picked up out there. Helmore goes out wide towards Whitney. That's all it's going to go. It's going to come back pretty quick. Low, flat kick. Goes into the forward line. Flacavento comes across. Tapped the ball forwards. Got support there. They got a few numbers back. Ball is picked up. And again, Bel Post Hill try and win that ball from the contest. But it's going to be a ball up which will take place.
Well, that's Josipovic, who that was.
Josipovic.
Yeah, Josipovic. That's who it was. That's 26. He went to the goal square, so...
We'll give it to him.
Rightio, he's got it then.
And that was a clean kick out of the goals, but it's Timmy Barton. He's offline too, so we better concentrate on what's going up on the field. But Bel Post, again, a bit the accuracy's not there today, 10-15.
I think it hasn't been a great broadcaster. I think you blokes have let the team down a bit today.
I think you're an idiot.
4 goals, 9 to East Geelong, so it's going to be picked up. Melville this time brings the ball back in. I think he kicked the ball straight to Costello because he's going to take the mark. He's got a player short. He's got Jones there if he wants to use him, but he's not going to go there.
Could have been the Corio Bay Health.
He's looking for his brother again. He goes across the ground this time. He's put a player into space by himself, and it's Quinn. He comes up and takes the mark just outside range, so he goes across the ground. Mark is taken there by Yates. Now, this might be tested material.
Yeah.
I think this might be right on limits here.
I think this might be a go back, take your time, and have a bit of a breather, because I'm not sure you can kick it that far, Yates.
West Giants 89, North Geelong 29. Belmont Lions 79, Inverleigh 71, Werribee 84, Corio 56, Thompson 108, Winch 42, Banno 177, Anarchy 19.
That's worrying for Winch, them scores.
So Jack Yates now steps in. He goes long towards goal. Accuracy is not there. Distance will be. And it's out of bounds in the full. So they play, and now they bring the ball back in quickly. Kick was good, real good, because it's into the hands of McIntyre, just inside defensive 50. Ball goes quickly towards Dowsett again. Comes up and takes the mark. Dowsett now looking to deliver the ball, goes across the ground. Kick had to be good. Getting back, the mark was taken there by Lee. Decides to go and play quickly into the forward line. Mark not taken down there. Again, Andrews is there. Josipovic's also with him. Ball hits the ground. Players sit over the top of it. Umpire circles and says, let's have it back, as I'm going to ball it up. Just inside forward 50 for East Geelong.
There's Cogs, another one, texting through scores because they're winning.
Yeah, of course. It's like you ringing Mitch on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
So the ball now from the defensive end is picked up and cleared away, and again comes out. Flacavento takes the mark. He goes back inside. Dangerous kick.
Terrible kick.
He's kicked it straight to the opposition. And McClellan comes out. He decides to go and play on and go quickly into their forward line towards Menzies. And he puts his hands up and takes the mark. And he will go back and catch it. It's Ezard that's taken the mark.
See what happens with that stupid new rule? McClellan runs off and takes 5 steps before the umpire calls play on, and Yates is standing on the mark. So what do I do?
I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, he can't go anywhere. I know it's a hard thing for umpires, but they just have to be right on that play on as soon as they move to give him half a chance.
So Caleb Ezard now has one for the afternoon. Kicks from 40 metres out directly in front. Kick looks okay, and it is going to be a goal. And umpire indicates that. Ezard with his second. East Geelong with their 5th. They are 5-9. They trail Bel Post Hill on 10-15. And we have gone almost 17 minutes. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
Well, they might be a little bit undermanned, and they've probably been well beaten today. But the good thing about East Geelong is they're keeping on going. They realise that if they keep going, kick a couple of goals, it doesn't look so bad on the scoreboard. And you get confidence going into the next week. So a lot of sides may throw the towel in here and there. But East Geelong have definitely not done that.
Back in the middle, Lovett McLennan. Lovett wins the tap down to no one in particular. But wrapped up there was Whitney. Collins and for the first ball, dives on it, picks it up well. Tries to get the handball out. Gets a cheeky little kick forward for Bel Post Hill. Whitney picks the ball up, gets the handball out wide to Harmer. Harmer handballs back to Collins. Collins goes long looking for, but not finding Costello, who goes back in and gets the ball off. The mark was spilt just inside Bel Post Hill's forward 50. Stacks on the mill. Umpire might come in. No, he's still letting it go. Now he's blowing the whistle and said, I'll have it here. It's not going anywhere. So just on the 50-metre mark, Bel Post Hill's attacking end. Young Monaghan, the last man up, so ball in the air. Lovett wins the tap down to East Geelong. Couple of Bel Post Hill players dive in. Collins, one of them, rips the ball out of nowhere. Swings on the left, kicks it long. I'd say high, wide and handsome, but there'd be no mirrors at my house. That was the case. It was completely out of bounds on the full. So deep in defence for East Geelong.
Well, I went to Smithy's for breakfast last week. I didn't see any mirrors there.
Ball kicked back in. It's a long kick too. It's travelled the best part of 65 metres. Ren Lovett dives on it, taps it back to McNamara. He chips the ball in through the middle. Finds Baseley. Baseley looks up. He's got Flakovenko short, but if he ignored that, he's come out to Jones. Jones take the mark, true centre wing. But leads come from everywhere. Chips the ball across. Flakovenko of the Nick. Nick over to Nick to Costello. Costello kicks the ball beautifully in the centre. Timmy Barton standing there all on his own. Takes the mark 35 out from goal. I think the umpire's going to bring him around a little bit there, mate.
Let's see if he does or not.
He may have cheated a couple of steps there.
I reckon 7.
Barton.
Oh, yeah, he's bringing him back. See, good umpiring, good umpiring. Yeah, one more maybe. Well done. Yeah, there's the last one.
Go.
Well, where the player on the mark is down not centre.
It doesn't line up, does it? But the player on the mark might have moved himself across before the stand got caught in. So Barton, we're kicking from about 40 metres out. Looking to put Bel Post as 11th on the board.
Well, Barton moved around, but the bloke on the mark didn't.
No. Anyway, Timmy Barton drops on the boot, and that's a horrible shank. It's gone right across the face of goal. I reckon it may have been... No, it wasn't touched. It's out of bounds on the full. So now they're not kicking points, Whale. They're actually missing everything. So Beardsall will bring the ball back in for East Geelong. Looking at his options. Not much movement out there at all, is there? So he decides to play on and go long down the line. Great kick there. McLennan takes a very good mark. Just use his body. Lovett seems to be limping around a bit now too. So, war of attrition happening. McLennan chips the ball over the top. Lovely little kick there to Bartel. Bartel takes the mark. Handballs the ball across. Long kick there into attack. Not a great one. Ball goes through the hands of Flakovenko. Flakovento. Handballs the ball out. Just be quiet, please, Grub. I think he paid holding the ball there.
His dad might be listening in the car. He's going to come over and belt a lot of us.
He's allowed to. That's fine. Anyway, Andrews comes across here looking for Flakovento.
That's better.
Of the Jordan variety. Jordan goes short out here and finds Jones. Jones takes the mark.
Zach.
Chips the ball across. Zach to Tom Barton. So Timmy Barton now. Chipping the ball back in the middle. That's a great kick to McNamara, who spills the mark. He probably should have taken, but as usual, he's clever enough to get the ball out to Bryans, who kicks partly smothered. Runs towards the boundary line. Barton escorts it over. Sorry, Grubby, your toe. Anyway, we've gone nearly 29 minutes. This Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard here at Myers Reserve sees the home side leading by 6 goals. Boundary up by throws the ball in. Barton against McLennan. McLennan gets the front, fists the ball down. Picked up by Bo Collins. Gets the handball out. It's smothered beautifully by McIntyre. McIntyre handball to Crombie. Crombie on further to Zach Smith. And the ball's knocked out of his hands, rolls across the boundary line for another throw. Almost right in front of the commentary box. Grubby, go out there and throw it in for us, mate. That'd be great.
I might.
Boundary up by throwing the ball. We've got Barton against McLennan again. McLennan takes front position. Both grabbing, but we've pinned it one way. Advantage has been paid here. I don't think there's a lot of advantage, but Melville was good enough to get around. Handball the ball out to Zach Smith. Smith goes long to the forward line. Good contest there. Ball comes to ground. Umpire has paid a free kick for too high. I'm not sure who it's going to.
I don't think anyone.
There we go. So he's paid too high over the shot, chopping the arms or something. But East Geelong will take the resultant free kick about 30 metres out. It's Ezard who is going back to kick for his third. not about afternoon when the side's only kicked 5. So Caleb Ezard comes in now, kicking from about 30 metres. Ball hits the boot, stabs it a little bit, but doesn't really matter. It's gone straight through the middle. Ezard has his third, East Geelong's third for the quarter. They move to 6-9-45. Trailing Bel Post Hill 10-15-75. Morris Finance, final quarter scoreboard.
Yeah, I don't know where that come from, that free kick. I didn't spot it, but as I said before, I didn't have the binoculars on it, but it doesn't matter. Once it's paid, you still got to go back and kick the goal. A beautiful goal it was too, and put some... You know, they obviously can't win the game, but it makes the scoreboard look a bit more respectable. But I've just got this funny feeling that the Panthers may have just taken the foot off the pedal just a little bit.
It helps percentage too, Grob. It doesn't, yeah.
Yeah.
So back to the middle we go. Barton still doing the ruck work. McClellan taps the ball down, picked up and cleared away. Bryans goes into their half-forward line. Costello, Adam can't win possession of the ball, but it's East Geelong. They'll win possession of it, or I think they're going to win possession of it. Yates is putting a fair bit of pressure on back there. Ball is tapped out. Mulville gets the ball out, goes back to Mulville now. Gets the 1-2 and he goes out to Monahan. Monahan goes back towards centre wing. Dowsett was leading the race for the ball. Opposition there is Quinn. Quinn got the handball back to Fantella. Goes back over the top, but straight back to Dowsett. Needs to get rid of it. That was in great disposal. And free kick will go to Bel Post Hill and Bryans. Once again, he's been good. And he's going to kick a little short ball up over the top. Vasirka was set a target there. It's picked up back to Vasirka and he's tackled, brought to ground. Ball comes out. Again, Bryans. Kick didn't travel all that far. Good tackle there, Collins. Ball goes out the side again. Goes long into their forward line. Will Ford's just going to stand there. He's going to take the mark and just settle things down for Bel Post Hill. A short kick out wide. Fantella.
I think Wren's gone to full forward. He's a bit injured, so that's why Timmy's in the ruck and 40's gone back.
I was just saying that. Why would you do that?
We'll just bring Wren off.
Take him off.
The game's over. Bring him off. He's done a great job, if you ask me.
Yeah, he has the ball now. Ball goes back towards centre wing again. Staying on his feet. Beardsall did that nicely. Got the handball out. Running player from behind. I tell you what, it's another dangerous kick going back in. Mulville 1 versus 3. Great pick-up. Turns the ball and goes outside. And the mark has been taken by King. Well, umpire hadn't called it there for some time, but he does now. Goes up over the top. McClellan into some space by himself. Continues to run. Goes longer into their forward line. And again, some good interception work there. Kerrins. And it's Will Kerrins. Kerrins goes short. Mark taken in there. Costello. He's going to bring the ball across the ground. He went backwards. Goes back to whacked to Quinn. Quinn's going to go short. Flacavento. So they just move the ball round now. Go to forward. They've gone back 40 metres. As the siren is sounded, which will end the game, so it doesn't really matter. Bel Post Hill will run out winners 10 goals 15, and East Geelong 6 goals 9. Goal kickers for the game: Will Ford with 3, 2 each to Nick Costello, Dill Whitney, 1 each to Jordan Flacavento, Tim Barton, and Zane Jones. And for East Geelong, their 6 goals: 3 to Caleb Ezard, 1 to Will Josipovic, 1 to Hugh Menzies, and 1 to Zach Smith. Take a short break, come back, wrap up things here from the game this afternoon. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
GDFL football action. The match of the day, only on 94.7 The Pulse.
Well, welcome back here to Myers Reserve, where we have seen the home side emphatic winners, 10-15-75, Bel Post Hill, defeating East Geelong, 6-9-45. Before I throw to the lads, we'll just go through progress scores of other games. Geelong West Giants 103, leading North Geelong 37. Belmont Lions 79, leading Inverleigh 78. Werribee Central's 104, leading Corio 74. Thompson 116, leading Winch 62. Bannockburn 211, leading Anarchy 19. Gents, start with you, Richard. Thoughts?
Yeah, a little bit disappointed the way Inverleigh actually played their game today.
Inverleigh?
Inverleigh. I tell you what,
you listen to Steeler.
So bad. Yous have been so bad. I'm just going to
Wow.
The way East played today, we went through their side with how many out. It didn't seem that many. But, gee, they were undermanned. They didn't play very good football. And you've got to put that down. After what we've seen them do this year, you've got to put it down to the fact that they did have probably too many players out. Because, look, the score's gone again up there, but 25 shots to 15, I think, from memory.
Yep.
So, in the end, I think Bel Post Hill, the way they played this game today, could have won by a hell of a lot more.
If that was 15-10, that's a big difference.
Belmont Lions 7 points in front.
Right, and that's a big difference. But I must admit, since the last time we saw Bel Post Hill against Werribee, they were poor that day, and they nearly got away with it. And may have if they had gone a bit longer. But today, the same players, different team. They were more of a team. They were more cohesive through the middle. Their forwards were... The pressure the forwards put on in the backs at East was just incredible. And their backs just wouldn't give them a sniff either. They were stingy. So that was as good a performance as I've seen from Bel Post Hill for a while. And I think we spoke earlier before the start of the game, can they be top three or not? Well, I think they answered that today by saying yes. East have got a few to come back, and they'll get those blokes back. I still like the way their kids play, and they probably need that experience of the coach. Thomas called the mask back in. And who else was out, did we say? There was Hoff, not a bad player. Watson Searle's dangerous. They really need him in there because, unfortunately, the defence was that well that Zach Smith couldn't do it on his own. He needs a partner in crime.
Noel Fanning.
Yeah, well, he's a good player, Fanning. What happened to my favourite player? Isn't he playing at all?
He walked past us today.
Did he?
Yes.
Right, so I don't know if he's coming back or what. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he did walk past us on the bench there, and I thought you might have said something to him, but you must have missed him.
No, I must have missed him. But, look, all in all, a great performance by Bel Post Hill. But East Geelong, I think, will be better when they get players back.
Fair enough. I just got our mate Shane Painter, who fills in for you, sent his 3 votes in, mate. You want to see his votes? He gave 3 to Wales' stepson, Cubby, 2 to Bo Collins and 1 to Yatesy. So there you go.
Well, he's getting the arse off
of hashtag.
Of hashtag. If that's what he knows about footy, Paints, turn it up, mate.
North Shore are 23 points up over Grovedale.
Well, it looks like Fraser will get the sack. He no good.
Grovedale kicked 5-14. So
Wow. Well, as soon as Paints has thrown some votes in, let's just complete the circus because I've got no idea and give our own.
Would you like me to start for you, mate?
Yeah, go on then.
All right. I actually gave one to Jack Yates. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. So much better than his father. I had the unfortunate privilege. Well, it's not a privilege. I had the unfortunate episode of having to play with his father for a season. That was bad enough for anyone.
I met him at halftime. I thought he was a lovely man.
He's a ripping bloke,
lovely
mate. Absolutely
man.
ripping bloke. Soft as butter, unlike his son. So I gave one to Jack Yates. I gave 2 to Josh Andrews, who I thought was absolutely brilliant across half back, and I gave my 3 to Tom Bryans, who I just think was in everything. From woe to go, he was just sensational.
Come on, hero. What do you got? Well, this is going to be good.
I actually was going to give Ren Lovett a vote just for his work because I think
brilliant.
Last time we saw McLennan play, he was a difference in that game, or set them up very nicely, but I didn't give him one. I gave 1 vote to Jack Beardsall. I thought he was good for East Geelong. He worked well, gets a lot of the ball. I gave 2 votes to Tommy Bryans. I thought, again, as Spider said, was in everything. Maybe the disposal at the end was a little bit kicked, but, just trying to get ball moving, which is obviously what you try and do in a game like this. But I still think Bo Collins, for me, was still one of the better players on the ground. He just seemed to keep finding the ball, keep getting in the right position, and I reckon he was as good as anything out there the other day.
Yeah, well, I had my notes down here when I was writing. He's nowhere near the player now as when he left before, because I think he's dropped away, actually. He doesn't get the ball as much. He used to get the ball 35 times.
He probably had it 35 today.
No, he got it about 20. and that's not Beau Collins. I think he's not 100% fit. But you watch.
You need 2 extra hands to count to 30, don't you? You get to 20 and
No, I was watching him go. I actually did him on purpose, and I thought he was down. But
okay,
I was gonna give Ren Lovett a vote, and in the end, I said bugger it and did.
Okay.
This bloke's the best ruckman in the comp, and I know he had some help from Timmy when he went in there, but I thought he destroyed him, and he made sure that he couldn't run around and do the damage which we thought he might do. So I gave 1 to Ren Lovett. I gave 2 to Tommy Bryans, because I thought he was just about fantastic all day. At half-time, had I given him 3 votes to Josh Andrews, no worries. But I just thought he died off in the last half. And the bloke who made him win early, I gave 3 votes to the captain, the magnificent captain's game, Jack Yates.
All right, so that means Tommy Bryans is our player of the day with 7 votes.
Well, there you go.
Very even spread. Jack Yates with 4, Beau Collins 3, Andrews 2, Lovett and Beardsall 1 apiece. So Tommy Bryans.
It's unbelievable, this idiot.
Well, he's been right the last couple of weeks.
Now, actually, if you look back at the paper votes last week, and I gave 3 votes to Casey Meehan,
You
and
did.
your bloke that you two
Yeah, but Donahue doesn't put himself in the
he does him every week.
He's not allowed in him. He doesn't put himself in
He
him.
puts himself every week.
If Larry was doing it, mate, he would best on ground every week.
Yeah, but you go back and have a look through the year, and I bet
did.
you'll find Donahue there 9 out of 10.
You've been right pretty much, mate, so we can't argue. So it's back to a point out at Inverleigh. So
I'll try to ring me mate out there and find out how long to go, but he won't answer me. He's
probably no service.
Well, he'd be on his 15th can, so why would he bother?
Is there any chance that you can ring Lindsay for us, Grub?
Well, he's lucky I won't be ringing him in the Geelong and District St John of God on.
Can you ring Cookie for us, mate, and get the scores? You make some friends. You make friends easy, don't you?
He come up after the game and kiss me.
Yeah, he's a good bloke, Lindsay.
I'll tell you what else he might be.
No.
Matter of fact, I might see if he's gone over to Jules' place later.
Oh wow! I coached Cookie many years ago out of Teesdale, mate. He's a very, very nice bloke. Anyway,
can he fight?
Well, I have no idea, mate. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I tell you what, I don't know about him, but I wouldn't be taking on Zuma out there. I reckon he'd flatten you, big Zuma.
He'd go you, wouldn't he? Yeah. I won my last fight by 100 metres, mate. That's how I go. So, anyway, gents, we've got a week off next week. Obviously, the King's birthday.
Yeah. So where are we going?
So, well, I'm probably going to go to the Pergola of Pleasure and just wander out the back and sit there all day.
Right.
Actually, I might go watch North Shore play next week, mate. Catch up with my cousins and family.
Smithy?
But the week after, gents.
Don't think I'll be doing too much.
You'll probably go out to East Geelong versus someone else and get there and find out there's no game on.
Hey, we won't tell these blokes about it. They'll turn up somewhere. Hey, it's the only time the van turns up on time.
Yeah. No game next week, boys. Just remember that. And I think I'll go to Echuca for the weekend.
Well, mate,
you probably booked in, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Take Mitch with
I
you.
am.
Rightio, lads. So the week after, obviously, is, as I said already, it's close to the best round of GDFL football I've seen in a long time. You got Bannockburn versus Winch, although Winch obviously today not so good. You got the Giants versus Werribee. You've got Bel Post Hill versus Inverleigh. Anarchy versus North Geelong. East Geelong Thompson. And Corio Belmont.
Wow.
That is the 6 games after the bye.
Actually, that's pretty good.
That is close to the best round I've seen in GDFL. Like, you've got the top 2 sides, the bottom 2 sides. You've got...
And all the middle playing each other as well.
It's just a fantastic round of footy. So, lads...
You have to go and watch the best one, don't you?
So we're going to Anarchy North. Which one do you want to go to? So you've got Thompson.
Having said that.
You got East Geelong Thompson.
Well, I tell you what. Next week, by a little bit of a rest, I would hope that East Geelong would get close back to a full side. Unfortunately, if they've got players like that Eddie today, they're going to get shit on. And we won't go there. But if they get some players back, we're not going to know that. You know what they need? They need
Inverleigh 5 points in front.
They need a real good player like Alan Paulus was. Fast, taking speckies, kicking goals.
Alan Paulus is the reason they put fence up around the ground to keep him in.
Oh,
if he runs that wide.
That's not very nice. He was a wonderful player. Mate, I saw him
Hey.
take a specky over Brother Robert in the Chanel quadrangle.
There's a reason. You can be an outside footballer, mate. But outside the ground's a whole different thing. No,
Right.
Alan Paul's one of the you're the first one to play 200 games at Bel Post Hill.
Only foundation member.
There you go, mate. We have got
Yes.
a special guest, you know.
Who?
John Mitchell, special guest via Facebook or whatever it is. What do you got, Mitch? Righto. Well, there's the voice of football in Geelong. We are going to Thompson. Although we don't like going to Thompson.
Well, it's at East Geelong.
We just don't like Thompson,
It's
mate.
at East Geelong, mate.
Yeah, but we don't like Thompson.
Are you on the Metamucil bus, Mitch? Yeah, next week you'll be great, mate, because the bye.
Well, you won today, so I'll probably get a phone call tonight. But all right, thanks, Johnny Mitchell, and we will go to East Geelong next week.
So the week after the bye, we are heading out to Richmond Crescent, which is I don't know, it's Oswide and Civil and Plumbing and something else. It's the biggest sign in Australian history for sporting ground.
Now, you better let them know so they put the hats up and we get our truck in.
Hopefully, we'll grab him now.
Grovedale will come back. They're 4 points down over North Shore, behind North Shore now. So Bell Park finally scored Dale after being 0-2 at half time.
Oh, that's all right.
They're only 50 points down over South Barn. Okay, so we're heading to East Geelong.
Yep.
Richmond Crescent. So we've got next week off, so enjoy that, gents. Go inside and finish the past players, Dale. So Inverleigh are still 5 points in front. I'm just waiting to see if it updates. Oh, no, they're 11 points up now, so you imagine that'll be enough to win it. Donohue's probably kicked 2 from centre half back. O'Leary Oval, as Paints has just said, at East Geelong. So, anything else to go with, gents?
Yes, I'm just looking through it. Keep talking for a minute. You good at that?
Anyway, fine.
Yeah,
Anyway,
there you go.
look,
All I was going to say is I'd like to thank our sponsors for today. The Yards Hotel, the Hotham Hotel. Yards if you're in the west, Hotham if you're in the city, and the Comnafine if you're in the east. Lifeline, just remember, 131114. That's if, as you remember, you can't do it on your own, so call Lifeline. Corio, Bay Healthcare, and Fairhaven Homes. Thanks very much for today, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks, I reckon.
I think you're right. So we might throw back to the studio now. Dale, Grubby, thank you very much for your company. Not so much you, Grubby, but Dale, thank you for your company. Thank you, you bleeding hemorrhoid over there.
Are you allowed to say that?
I just did. Thank you.
Wait till we go off air and hear what I've got to say.
Enjoy your week off next week, lads. Thanks for a great day, great call.
And thanks to the boys.
Thanks to the boys, Jules, the crew. Lovely to have you. Thank you for listening. 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
And you go.